All right, all right, all right. All right, here we go. Here we go. No games, just business podcast, episode 26. I'm Darius. I'm here with
Mm.
my cousin Jimmy. What's up, cuz? How you feeling? How you living, man?
Feeling good on a Sunday, the true fun day, man. It's the start of a new week, and I'm ready to grind with y'all to do what we do. Got a jam-packed day today. Got a flag football game. Got a basketball practice. Spitting with my fellas. Let's get it going now. What's good with you, Don? What's good?
I can't complain besides seeing my bum ass Heat lose last night, but I mean,
Mm.
hey, what can you say? What can you say besides blow it up? But hey, that's where I'm at with it.
It's never fun when you go to the game and then your team lose,
That
man.
yes. I
Mm.
told I told my I told my girl when we went to the Bengals and Steelers game. I had my best friend with me, and the Bengals straight up beat the hell out the Steelers. I said, now I know how it feels to come to a game and see your team lose.
Mm.
At one point, we was down 21.
Oh, and hey, at least it was a shootout. At least it was
Yeah, at least they came
a nice
back.
comeback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Solid, solid. What's
Yeah,
good with you?
fellas.
What's up?
Yeah, fellas. So now we in that basketball season territory now, man.
Well, we
It's
hoop.
we definitely getting some hoops in today.
Mhm.
And what we got on the agenda today, Jimmy?
Man, oh man, I cannot wait to run it down. You said it, basketball season a little bit here now, and it's gonna get real fine and dandy. And because of that, we're gonna start with the buyout market, the NBA buyout market, and what Gilbert Arenas had to say about that man, Russell Westbrook. Yes, rocking the baby, too small for him usually. This man believes that Gilbert believes that this man Russ is a top tier guy. And we'll speak on how far they can go, and we'll speak on what his expectations were. And from there, we'll go to number two, Beal. He's tired of losing, or is he? We'll speak on that as well. And the dream playoff matchup for this year's playoffs in just maybe about 2 months from now. And from there, we'll go into that bad man, Lamar Jackson, the guy who's had contract talks for a while now, and it's really getting to the end of the road. It's make it or break it now for these Ravens and Lamar Jackson. And what will they do? We will put our caps on and talk about that too. And we will go into the NFL salary cap candidates, the people who will be cut, the cut candidates. These teams are starting to set up for, we spoke on a little bit earlier, teams rebuilding and maybe needing to cut ties with certain players that they may need. So yeah, we'll chop it about that and see who will be off these teams and where will they go. And from there, we will break it down with a beautiful segment from a beautiful mind. Yes, cuz great topic here. We're talking about 32 in 10 weeks. We're talking about three per week. We're going to break it down, dissect it, talk about what these teams need. We're going to start with the top three picks of this NBA draft. We're talking Bears, Texans, Cardinals. Let's get it. Let's pop it. Let's go.
Before we get started, I'd like everybody to like, subscribe, share it, send it to your mama, send it to your grandmama, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
Snapchat it,
Amen.
TikTok it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
missing any other social?
Oh no.
MySpace it.
Oh yeah.
MySpace
What,
throwback.
what I'm missing? What I'm missing? I mesh it. Something
Mm-hmm.
else. Just
Everything.
anything.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, just share it, man. Just
Yeah.
just share
Yeah.
it. Show
Yeah.
show some love.
Yeah. Drop a comment. Let's chop it up in the comment section. Let's get it.
Let's do it, fellas. NBA buyouts, man. NBA buyouts. Which NBA buyout do y'all think was a big one? And what could they do for their team? Jimmy, you
Yeah.
want to start us off?
Yes, man. And Gilbert Arenas, one of my favorite players of all time, talking about what Russ is capable of and what the team that Russ goes to, these Clippers, what they're capable of, talking about shifting balance of contenders towards the championship. He has very high praise. I'm a Westbrook fan. I know this, but goodness gracious, he swings it that much. I gotta see it to believe it. These Clippers, though, I believe it's the perfect fit for him to maximize what he's able to give at this point in his career. You're talking about spacing for those Clippers. You're talking about a different mentality with those Clippers and something to prove with those same Clippers. The LA roster needed more spacing, not only because Westbrook, but because of LeBron as well. There isn't not really anyone on this team that's that ball dominant or skills outside of the ball or off the ball is in question for me. And when I say that, I know LeBron can play off ball very well, but I believe Paul George and Kawhi do it on a different level, and that would help Westbrook more so than the playing with the LA Lakers. So I got those Clippers being able to, do something with this pick. Beverly was nice. I like Beverly, but the Russ pick is going to be a little bit different because of what they have on the roster already that complements the attacking, penetrating Russell Westbrook. He's not a floor general. He's not your traditional point guard. And you pick and choose, what type of style you like. But Paul George and Kawhi have proven they can attack off ball, on ball, but a point guard would give them a different dimension that they haven't had in these last couple of years. They try to do it with John Wall, but we see what's going on with him. Durability. What's good?
I'm a piggyback off of you because I got Westbrook also. The only I like that. I like that pickup because they didn't have a point guard. They didn't have somebody to make like the decisions out there to who gets the ball when and all type of stuff to feed Kawhi and feed Paul George. And Westbrook can do that. I mean, what that was the night before last, they went into two overtimes against the Kings and they put up like 175, 174. And I mean, Westbrook played pretty well. I mean, he wasn't doing his Laker Westbrook stuff. I'll say that, where it was just like bad decision after bad decision. And I was impressed. I mean, if they play like that, they could make it to the Western Conference Finals. I mean, really, honestly, in that game, it was more so the defensive lapses than anything, but the offense was looking amazing with Westbrook or Paul George and Kawhi. So, does he shift the Clippers so much? I don't know, man. I don't know. I think when we talked about Luca took Kawhi and Paul George by himself to like Game 7. Now you saying that he got Kyrie and Christian Wood. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Hell, even the Lakers been looking better lately. So I'm just like, I don't know if Westbrook is gonna really change that much because I heard Gilbert say that also, and I'm just like, I don't know about that one there. I mean, don't get me wrong, Westbrook is still a good player, but he isn't MVP Russ no more, where he's changing like the dynamics of what's gonna happen in the series. Like, could he have like some good games in the series? Yes, but he also can fuck that thing up for you also. So I I find it as a good pickup, especially after what I saw the other night. I like what I saw, so I say if anybody on this list, he might be able to actually contribute the most to his team. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll agree with both of you as far as him being the best pickup and going to this team specifically because they did need a point guard after especially after losing Reggie Jackson, right? Um,
Hmm.
especially after losing Reggie Jackson. So they definitely needed a ball dominant, ball handler. Um, I think that he does bring a tenacity and a sort of that hustler's mentality where he just goes out there and he you could just tell Westbrook loves the ball. And I mean his negatives is only is that he can't shoot the ball very well. But other than that, like he's
Uh,
like that.
there's some others. There's some
Oh,
decision making.
yeah, decision making. That's the issue. Sometimes, like he can win you a game. Well, he can lose you a game more times than he'll win you a game. That's my only issue with this, with him going to the Clippers is that I mean we bring up Chris Paul in the playoffs. We bring
Mhm,
up James Harden in the playoffs. I mean
Mhm.
mhm.
Westbrook isn't that great in the playoffs.
I'm gonna let you spit, cuz, but go ahead.
He isn't that great in the playoffs because what has he done? He's been with the Baby Thunder. Obviously, they were a young team, so you can't fault them for losing to come on now LeBron James, D Wade, and all of them. Come on now, and then but then they never went back, and then you got he played with the Wizards. Him and Bradley Beal went to the playoffs together, and I mean I think they won one game in that series.
Don't
Uh,
forget when Dame knocked him and Paul George out
Yeah,
on that game. On that,
him and Paul George played together before. That didn't
Mhm.
work out. Um, we could see that the Lakers are playing
mm,
pretty well without him.
They
I
missed the
mean,
playoffs last year without
he's
him. With him,
he's like he's a stat machine.
Y'all niggas woke me up.
He's
Y'all just
he's
woke me up.
he's a stat monster, but I don't think he's changing them in a way like, oh wow, that's a solidified, NBA Finals championship roster now.
he just
No,
be trying to stat pad.
he'll 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 be able to get Paul George and Kawhi on some good passes as he dribble and kick out, which would be perfect for them because you're right. Jimmy was right on this. They play very well off ball, and that's why I like Kawhi and Paul George. But I don't know. It's just something about this Clippers team that I just feel like they're lacking something, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a true big. I don't know if it's just the overall spotlight that's on them because it's like they're the LA team that's really has LA at the moment. Like the Lakers is the Lakers. Everyone's going to talk about the Lakers all the time, but the Clippers is actually a true playoff team. But when they get there, what are they going to do? Paul George is always pretty much. He hasn't struggled in the playoffs, but he hasn't elevated his team to series wins. Like he doesn't win playoff series, but him as a player, he's played pretty well. Kawhi, we know that he led that Raptors team to the finals very well. But other than that, I mean, he was a defensive stopper on that Spurs team. He wasn't the main guy. Even though he did win the finals MVP, but he wasn't like Timmy was still that guy.
When Zaza good.
They still had Manu. They still had Tony
I like that
Parker.
point there, Jimmy. I like that point there.
When Zaza was doing that
you about to say.
junk after he was landing, they was up on those Warriors with KD. Kawhi was a legitimate when he was playing legitimate top 5 player in this league on both ends. Kawhi Leonard without Tim Duncan. Kawhi Leonard without Tony Parker. So I mean, Kawhi's been Kawhi for a little while now. Yes, he was better.
He's proven.
Role, he's 1-1 as a role player, 1-1 as the guy. So I feel you on that one.
He's definitely proven, but I mean, how long has he been with the Clippers now? This is what, third, fourth year? I think it's third, fourth year with the Clippers.
True.
They haven't done anything. So
I mean, never mind. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't even gonna do it.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
ain't gonna do it
because I got to defend Russ.
Nah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. What team out west has done anything? To be honest with you. Like I'm not even with that Lakers stuff. Like y'all want a bubble ring. Like y'all ain't did nothing. I just gotta say
the bubble championship.
I just gotta bring that up because I know somebody gonna say, "Oh, the Lakers did, bro." Like the Lakers won a bubble championship, and it's been evident that they only won that because of the long break that they got in between the season. Because LeBron and AD can't stay healthy. We've seen that for every year since then. So now I'm supposed to give
LeBron is understandable. AD is the one that's just like, what's going on in your diet? What's going on in your training that you can't stay healthy, brother?
And so that's why I'm just like, I get what you're saying about the Clippers, but nobody out west has. Well, oh my bad, Golden State, my bad. But everybody except Golden State has not done nothing because even if you think about the Nuggets have had high expectations, still have not lived up to them. Every year, people talking about the Lakers going to win the championship or do this, they do nothing. Clippers do nothing. And the Suns after they made it to after they got Chris Paul, they made it to the finals, but they didn't do anything.
Was not that difficult. Jamal Murray was hurt. Kawhi was hurt. You see what I'm saying? PG almost dragged that Clippers team. I mean, that's the only time PG's showed up in the playoffs since Indiana.
I mean, the Celtics when they made it to the finals, was their playoff road not that difficult
last year?
Yeah,
every
played
round
Miami.
Tyler
Game
Hero
7
was banged up.
Yeah,
Tyler Hero was banged up, and was it Bam banged up as well? I don't think Bam
and Chris Middleton.
Yeah, Chris Middleton was out with the Bucks.
The only thing about that, is they took both of those teams took them to 7. So at least you still had to deal with Giannis, you still had to deal with Jimmy Butler. Who they had in the first round?
They
I think
they
Kawhi was their best player. You're right.
they had the Nets who was
Yeah, they
dealing
swept
with
the
the
Nets with KD and Kyrie.
yeah,
That
but
was legit.
that whole season for the Nets was just like
I agree.
they didn't have West. I mean, they didn't have they
Kyrie,
traded James
Harden.
Harden. I think KD there wasn't KD asking for a trade at one point.
I
It was a
forgot.
lot of stuff going on in that organization that year, and it was just like I'm not surprised that happened.
I agree, but the Celtics one is a little bit more valid because they actually beat some really good teams that still has some like you talking about Katie and Kyrie. Then you went and beat Giannis and still had Drew Holiday. Then you went and beat
Without
Bam.
Middleton,
I mean, you
Without
went and
Middleton.
beat Jimmy Butler. I mean,
without
and
And
Bam and Hero.
years before that, they were in the Eastern
I'm
Conference Champions.
at
yeah,
this
hey,
point.
multiple
I'm
times.
like
Mhm.
I think my team can go in and win. If I'm Boston, obviously if I'm Boston, I we can go in there and dominate the Heat without Bam and Tyler Hero, and you relying on Jimmy Butler to be your main scorer. He
I
can
mean,
In the
score, but
playoffs,
I was gonna
Mm.
say, but that game 7 of last year, it came down like the Heat had a chance to win. Butler went for the three and missed it. That's why they lost the game.
that's very true.
I
That is
mean,
very true.
I can't. I'm not gonna poo poo the Celtics because the Celtics, like they've shown Jimmy's word, they've shown a level of consistency of being able to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and that's with like baby Tatum and baby Jalen Brown to now where they those guys. So I'm
they
not
better
gonna.
be.
Yeah, I'm not gonna poo poo them. I just those teams out west, besides the Warriors, have not done nothing.
And I can't let y'all poo-poo that man Westbrook, and especially in the postseason, without defending him. So Westbrook is a clutch player. You brought up right my fault. James Harden, Paul George, Pandemic P. Let's not forget about that. PG-13 Pandemic P. You talking about some playoff P. You want to hear that? You need to associate some whack playoff name with Westbrook. He's actually clutch. If you go look at clutch points since he came in the league, he's top 5. This is a clutch player in the postseason as well. And then let's not talk about a situation because that Andre Roberson, Steven Adams, he was one of the better shooters on his teams religiously. James Harden, a lot of times, is why they need like he can't play bad. This dude has played historically bad in the playoffs. Westbrook doesn't do that. Westbrook, as far as his playmaking ability, he's elite at that. I believe. I think he's a to me underrated passer because yes, he does have it comes with turnovers. Yes, it comes with a high volume of them, but in a clutch situation, he doesn't typically turn the ball over. And for me, Paul George, since Indiana, we spoke on 1 year last year without Kawhi, drug Nuggets. I think Game 7 or the Clippers. My fault. No, the Suns to Game 6 or Game 7. Paul George, since Indiana, hasn't done a damn thing really in the playoffs. With Westbrook against Dame when he waved bye-bye to them, Paul George played like absolute garbage to those 6 games. Westbrook dragged them back against Utah against Donovan Mitchell. Paul George played bad in a big game against them as well, a closeout game. Westbrook kept them alive. A lot of times, Westbrook's appeal is in his intensity. His intensity is also his biggest flaw while being his biggest weakness. So I feel you on the decision making not being where it needs to be. So I get that, but the clutch factor. This man is an underrated clutch player.
Well, let's see if
You
let's.
lost me when you said Westbrook was clutch.
Yeah,
Go,
I'm about to
go look
say
at the numbers. Y'all
we're
love
gonna
numbers, don't you?
we're gonna have to see fourth quarter crunch time who gets the ball in their hands for this Clippers roster because I think
Oh yeah,
for me, I'm putting it in Kawhi's hand and we're gonna move forward.
Yeah,
true.
the quiet PG.
I don't know, pandemic.
But knowing Russ, he gonna come down there and just shank something off the backboard real quick.
I'd
He
rather that than PG.
he can't shoot.
Nah,
Have y'all
nah.
seen
He
PG
can't
the last couple
shoot.
playoffs?
Russ
Yeah,
can't shoot in the shooters league, man.
But
bruh,
he's not a
bruh.
shooter, right? But he's a clutch player.
I don't know,
Mm-mm,
man. I don't
mm-mm.
know. So my second guy is K Love. I like that K Love to the Heat. Biggest thing is that he can stretch the floor and shoot the three.
Mhm.
Miami Heat, they attempt the ninth most threes in the league, but they're the third worst
I was about
shooting
to say, oh my G,
shooting
hey, I don't mean
shooting
to I don't
three-point
mean to up
shooter
your,
in the league.
I don't mean to interrupt you right quickly, but that just crossed my mind when we was at the game last night, and they just kept shooting threes. My girl said, "Oh my God, are they ever gonna make one?" I said, "Yeah," and they just keep taking them. It is crazy.
Yo.
Yo,
So but that's why you got a guy like K Love, because he'll get down and dirty. He'll grab your boards when needed, but he can also shoot the three. The league average is 36%, and K Love shoots the three 35% from the floor. So I mean that's a solid piece, because he's going to be able to stretch the floor for you guys, what you guys need. Um, Also, Miami is the fifth worst in boards. So bringing in K Love, a bigger body, he'll get you. He'll get. He's not going to do the 13 to 15 what he was doing when he was with the Timberwolves. But we know that's a long time ago. K Love ain't that guy no more. He had to switch his game up when he went to the Cavs. But he'll go out there and get you 7-8 boards, which isn't bad. That's what you need, especially after losing Deadman, because that was a good defensive player for you guys. Um, I I think he brings championship pedigree, and we know that this Miami roster played. I mean, it's a bubble championship, but they've played in they played in an NBA Finals before. Jimmy Butler, he did everything he could to help them win, and I mean, they still got some of those players. They still got Hero. They still got Butler. They still got Bam. I mean, those are your three core right there. And I think K Love just brings he's also a well liked player. Like, the players genuinely like him, and I think he's a good mediator. I think he's a good. He brings that championship mindset to this roster, and he'll play high minutes. He'll play 25, 28 minutes on any given night.
um, uh, you said, hold on. You
This is
said,
home.
yeah. You said something didn't lost me. I was just like, nah, Darius tripping. But
Well, what?
I can't remember exactly what you said. But I'm gonna just move on. I say this. He does bring some rebound. I think he had like 13 rebounds last night, but it does not help when you playing these guys a 7 foot. Mark, what his name? Mark Williams, I think, or something like that, to play for the Hornets. Burr had 19 rebounds last night.
Duke Daniel.
Bam, Bam couldn't do nothing with him. And I'm just like, bro, what we doing here? Like, he's 7 foot. Bam with like 6'8", 6'9", something like that. Like, ain't nothing that they could do with him. So yeah, I hear you. It's gonna help with the rebounding, but this Miami team has lost 4 straight games. Literally, we even lost to the Brooklyn Nets. They don't even have Katie or Kyrie. How are we losing to them?
Is that when what's
Like,
name dropped 40?
yes, yes.
Fast.
So
Keep mad.
it's like, man, what we doing
I
here,
mean, when you're
man?
the
Like,
number one scoring option, I mean,
Mikhail though,
You can
Mikhail.
really see his package now.
nah. I don't know if you can
He ain't
really
got
see
no
his
bag.
package,
He ain't
but
got no
But he,
bag.
but
all
he's putting up a
right.
career. He's putting
He's
up a
gonna be like
career
Jalen
year.
Brown.
Man,
He's
Nah, you
you
gradually
said
tripping?
coming.
he gonna be like Jalen Brown?
I'm talking about the trajectory, like a Kawhi. It started off as Jimmy Butler, started off as a defender, and he's gradually going to become an elite wing player, a guy who's
Uh,
capable of scoring as well, a complete,
I,
more of a
I would
complete
I would
basketball.
lower I would lower that down to
Elite though.
Chris Middleton level without the bag.
Yeah.
No,
Without the
wait.
bag.
Remember where we're starting from defense. Chris Middleton wasn't known as a defender ever.
He's not a horrible
Mikal Bridges
defender.
was second in defense player of the year last year. Kawhi, Jimmy Butler esque. Now he already can catch and shoot. Now let's just put the ball on the floor a little bit. Maybe a little dribble pull up, little mid range here, a little mid range there. He has the
Mm.
wingspan, attack the basket, young legs. We'll see.
I ain't
We'll segue into what you said about the bubble, because the bubble for me, yes, you ain't gonna hear me talk too much about. I'm a Laker fan, but that bubble championship was as soft as charming. Okay, so I understand the bubble, mishap or lack thereof when it comes to weight of a championship. So I get it, but within the bubble format was difficulties in and of itself. These teams with veteran players like the Lakers were able to lean on those guys who've been there before or who've performed with different circumstances. You talking about shortened season and things of that nature, lockout and stuff. Those veterans dealt with that. Those younger guys weren't typically able to. And then also role players play different when fans are around. Role players play different when it's a home or away game. It was constantly what? What would you say? Is it closer to away atmosphere or home atmosphere? It's typically home because you're gonna got people booing you, or even with the home crowd, they might boo you if you're doing bad. So Tyler Hero, for example, he was able to eat partially because it was the bubble,
Let's relax on that one.
but then he also had Jimmy Butler to lean on. So it's
Let's
like,
y'all can hear me.
yes, very clear.
Let's relax on the Tyler Hero. I mean, Brett shows up some nights and some nights he doesn't. Brett dropped 30
Facts.
something last night. Let's not just say it's the bubble for him. Duncan Robinson, it was the bubble. The Heat, I mean, I like the K Love edition, but like even when we was there, you hear fans in the background. K Love fell on the ground. They said a fan yelled out, "Y'all better get that old man a stretcher." It's
Yo, yo,
it's, it's like how much can he really
yo.
do? I mean, he did knock down some threes for us last night, and he did come up big with some rebounds. But I mean, I don't know if Philly offered him a contract. I get it. He wouldn't have been starting, but I probably would have went to Philly, to be honest with you. Miami is trash this year. I mean,
I need a center, a real center.
Bam, but Bam's good, but it's just I don't know what we need a legit score. I mean, like if you would, it was clanking threes left and right. It was a lot of turnovers going on. It's we didn't have your favorite player Kyle Lowry out there. It was just a whole bunch of just nonsense going on.
That's a pro, okay? Not having him was a pro. Make him a coach, assistant coach. That's better. Haslam, something like that. Yeah.
Who else I got? Who else I got as far
me,
as some
it's the
buyouts?
guy. It's the first person I've ever shown 9-9 being, and that's Patrick Beverly. If he can make it, mama, you can make it. This is solely effort based when it comes to Patrick Beverly. The intensity, the passion, the entertainment is beautiful. So I believe Patrick Beverly on this Bulls team fits their formula already. You're talking about Lonzo Ball, defensive-minded guy first. Patrick Beverly's a willing passer. He's not looking to score. He's not Lonzo with the playmaking, but he's not going to make it to where the ball is sticking. The ball is going to pop with Patrick Beverly there. He has championship pedigree as far as the style of play. If everyone played like Patrick Beverly, the team is in better hands because he does the little things, the details. So I believe you add that with you got your Caruso, Levine, DeRozan. If DeRozan catches fire at the right time, along with a healthy Zach LaVine, they might be able to spoil someone out in the East just because the East isn't as strong as it used to be as far as top end talent. So for me, it's Patrick Beverly.
Jimmy, I don't know what you smoking over there. Pat Bev don't affect nothing.
Yeah, especially going on that Bulls team. I don't think
He's
he's doing much. I don't think
He's
he's
not a
doing
leader?
much on the Chicago Bulls.
He ain't doing nothing besides just running around doing nothing.
He's not a leader.
To
Close out, box out,
to
hold the big guy, big dogs accountable.
Who do you think they can really take on any given night?
no.
Because
I thought you was gonna ask. Who do you think he is?
Now, I'll
great
honestly,
example.
I think the only team that they can really knock out on a given night, if DeMar DeRozan is hot, is the Hawks. Other than that, any other team is beating that Bulls team.
The Heat.
Nah, I'm taking the Heat.
I don't know, man.
Jimmy,
The bucket. If Zach LaVine's healthy, mind you.
I take Jimmy Butler in the playoffs over any one of those guys. We saw what DeMar DeRozan's been.
Even the combination of both of them, Zach LaVine and whatchamacallit?
I'm not a huge fan of Zach LaVine, but that's just me.
Okay, I feel that. He's definitely.
I just don't think that they really like that. To be honest with you, like they got so much issues going on over in Chicago.
Second round exit at max, at the best.
I don't.
Second round exit.
First round exit at max.
They got to make the playoffs. They're in the play-in.
True.
They're not even in the play-in. They didn't even make that yet.
That's why the Bulls are trash, man. Like
who's the top 5 players in the East though?
Tatum,
Different teams.
Tatum, Butler, Giannis, Embiid.
Shit, Julius Randle,
the shooter, Donovan Mitchell.
Oh yes, okay, there we go.
Nah, he lost me when he said Julius Randle. I don't know what he talking about.
Whoa, I didn't mean to say he was top 5, but I'm just saying he's not one
better than DeRozan in the playoffs.
I ain't going that far, dude.
I mean, he hasn't even really been to the playoffs. What the Knicks been in the
That's a,
playoffs?
that's a part of the point. DeMar at least has experience there.
Oh, okay. The question was who's better than DeMar? Who's
Like
better
in the
than DeMar
playoffs.
I think he's
in the
about
playoffs?
6'7".
Okay, I'm
Right,
sorry,
right,
I didn't hear
right.
that part. I just thought you said who's the top players in the East,
And
and
hell,
I
and
was just
hell,
thinking
Julius
I was gonna say
Julius Randle's.
Jalen Brown's still better than him. To be honest with you.
One that I like is Reggie Jackson. I like Reggie Jackson to the Nuggets
Mhm.
because you lose Bones Highland, so you lose your young talent, but you bring in a veteran ball handler that comes off the bench and is a score first guard. So when Murray's out, because Murray battles injuries from time to time, now you have a backup that you can count on. Because honestly, Reggie Jackson, I mean, he's been a leader for that Pistons roster when he played for them. I mean, he did play with the Baby Thunder with Durant, Westbrook, and Harden. So he's played with stars and superstars. I mean, he's played with Kawhi. I mean, he's been around some big time teams. So he
Mhm.
knows his way around the league. I mean, he's double digits points in the regular season and in the postseason. So I think he's a sleeper pick for that Nuggets team that's playing very well this year. And I think he's a solid pickup for them because they are another team that needed a ball handler.
I definitely agree. There's not many times that point guard is going to be able to be playmate for the center's playmaking for him as well. So I think it'll be very good for Reggie Jackson's game. He's a true scorer.
Oh yeah,
Is
oh
what?
yeah.
Is it good now?
So we are going to segue right into this Bradley Beal and Dream NBA playoff matchups. All right.
Boy.
So does Bradley Beal want to win? And what is your, dream scenario as far as a playoff matchup for the East, the West, and the championship? You know what? Me and Jimmy had a topic similar to this very, very early on. You guys might want to go check out some of our older, you know, segments as far as episode 1 or 2, I believe.
Mhm.
And you know what? He's not the player that this guy is, but the situation is kind of matching up here. I compared him to Melo. Melo is one of my guys. I think he's slept on in this league. But Bradley Beal isn't the Melo, but what he did was go get the money. And I'm not mad at you. I mean, 60 million, $63 million reasons why I'm gonna stay in Washington, to be honest with you. And winning isn't that important to me. I'm not mad. Get your money. Get your money. But we all know in sports, winning is what really matters. You can go get your bag, but to be considered one of the greats, you got to win games. And I mean, he's not putting up Hall of Fame numbers. I mean, he's just another guy that can score the ball. I mean, I could find someone else to do that I don't have to pay $46 million next year, $50 million the following year, $53 million the following year, and then a player option of $57 million in his fourth year by the time he's 33 years old.
Mm.
Mm.
I mean, what is a contender's going to use him for maybe 2 years, and hope that he doesn't take his player option, and or that buyout is going to be. Then you're going to fall into a possible Westbrook situation where the guy is just getting paid way too much money for his value. Um, to be honest with you, I'm not mad at him for staying. I just don't think he cares that much at this point. I think that he stayed there for the money, and I'm not mad. I'm not mad about that. You want to build that generational wealth, which is perfect. But if championships is what he was looking for, then he would have went a different route. I think if he was to leave, which I think he will leave, I think he'll get traded next year. But I got two spots that I think will best fit for him. The number one is the Heat. They need
Here we go.
they need an offensive weapon. And Bradley Beal is gonna put up consistently 20 plus points a game. But they gotta find the cap space to even pay him. So you gotta give up, you're most likely gonna have to give up Hero.
No, oh well, we got it. We got
Well,
to give up Kyle Lowry.
whoa. I
I do this on
I,
2K often.
I didn't finish here. You definitely got to get rid of Lowry and Robinson. Those are your first two cap hits that you got to find a way to get rid of.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. On 2K, all you got to do is give up Kyle Lowry and Victor Oladipo. Victor Oladipo makes 8 mil. Kyle Lowry 28. Beal is at 43. Then throw in like a $1 million contract from the Wizards, and then throw in some draft picks. It works every time.
Yo,
That's the trade package you're going with right there.
I'm trying to tell you.
Pat Riley is laughing right now.
So with that, you probably gonna have to give up Hero in order to get him. And if I'm the Wizards, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Mhm.
But the second team for me is the Knicks. He'll go to the Knicks. Now you have a true, it's not the superstar big three, but Brunson is playing well for the Knicks. Julius Randle, they believe in. I mean, he's playing very well for the Knicks. But you're probably gonna have to give up like R.J. Barrett, Michael Robinson, some bigs, and a couple of draft capital. But I mean, you hope that Beal comes there and he's that second scoring option, and those three guys thrive offensively, and you bring basketball back to the Knicks. And I think those are his two best fits. But if I'm a team, I'm probably not going out to get him because of the money I have to pay for him. But yeah.
I mean, I guess it just depends on what your team is in need of. Like, say, I don't know. I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but say if there's a way the Nuggets could get Bradley Beal, I guarantee you they would go out there and get him because that would be another elite shot maker next to Jokic and Jamal Murray. Like, it just depends on what the team needs.
Yeah, but the reason why I can't see the Nuggets doing it is because they play defense.
Well, no, I'm not saying the Nuggets. That's not my team. You already know who my team gonna be. You already spoke on them. Uh, only thing I will push back on, I think two things can be true. Did he go back to Washington for the money? Yes. Does that mean that he doesn't want to win? No. I just think he knew he could get up out of Washington after he get that bag. Burke got a 5 year, $250 million contract. I would do the exact same thing.
I would have did the same thing too.
Yeah, exactly. I can't knock that man for doing that. Like, and then like, there's always going to be teams like that that want a star. Miami constantly chases stars. So if he's able to get to Miami and play with Butler and Bam, that's hey, I don't care. I will happily say pay that man that $250 million. The other team I have is an up and coming team. I like them. They my team out west. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like the Kings. I think he go to the Kings with De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis, and that could be like a little mini big three out there. You already got two All Stars, and then you add Bradley Beal into the mix. I think that'll just work exquisitely.
I like that.
I do like that. I do like that. Yeah, I said the two teams out. Well, actually, one of them I didn't. Knicks from a first squad. I believe he would help. He would play with Brunson very, very, very well, and it will allow Julius to fall into his natural number three position as the option scoring. Because I just don't believe Julius is that guy yet. Make him. Stephen A. says also, make him go right. He has no right. This nigga, yo, like, come on. I seen it the other day. This is a fast break, and he get into his left. Like, yo, you cross over all the entire paint just to get to your left. Like, you a pro. At least dunk it with two hands. Anywho, my thing, this subject here is very touchy for me because but it has to do with top tier talent. Bradley Beal, I believe he thinks he's a top tier guy. He's a top 20 guy in my mind. I think he thinks he's about borderline 15-10, top 10 guy. And within that range, like a Dame Dollar type of situation, Greek freak, in order to be great, sometimes your situation has to be less than, especially in this era. Because a lot of times we're not going to applaud you going and teaming up with stars. So if he wants to get it out the mud the old-fashioned way and win the quote-unquote correct way, which is it's harder to do in this, it's harder to execute in today's game because the mindsets are not the same as the players' mindsets of before. The All-Star game highlights that. We see guys that are just not as competitive, and that carries over in different ways, even talking about load management. You can make an argument that the load needs to be managed more so now because we have trainers to have eyes on certain things that matter as far as durability, long term longevity. But at the same time, there is a formula that we've seen to when we talk about Giannis. His one championship, a lot of people like his one championship more than KD's and two with the Warriors. So there are certain things that you that can assist in your greatness. And once you win, that doesn't guarantee people are going to give you or deem you as great because the situation a lot of times matter. Winning matters the most, but how you win matters. That's the second question. If you're a truly great player. As far as where he'll go, the Knicks, as far with Brunson, I love it, but with the Lakers, I believe he wants to go to a top tier market because now I think he's ready to have a big brand with sneakers and things of that nature. Be the next guy for organization going forward that has proven that they'll put people around him. He's gotten his money checked off. Now it's time for a championship, and I believe his style going forward with those, his I think his contract will look a lot better than the Chris Paul and Westbrook's currently because he's an off ball player. He might be Ray Allen style of play coming off screens and catching and shooting as opposed to putting the ball on the floor at age 34, 33. And that can assist more than a point guard who needs the ball in his hands and who can't shoot. So I think that contract will age typically fine if you have him in the right situation around the right pieces and maximize his shooting ability. So Bradley Beal to me isn't necessarily Dame Dollar, and he's not the Greek Freak either because he's a tier below. I applaud Dame and Greek Freak for staying put and trying to get talent to come towards them and win championships the correct way. As far as Bill, I wish he would leave because his talent alone isn't that of something that a GM would think we need to build around you. You're not there yet. You're not that guy yet. And I actually believe Washington dropped the ball, giving him or offering him that max contract. I would go after someone who's of a higher echelon, star power, superstar, both ways. For my sake, you know what I'm saying? You know me, I love both ends of the court. Bill isn't that guy for me.
Jimmy, who's your basketball team?
Oh, I'm a Laker guy, but
I figured that. I figured that when I heard the Lakers come out your mouth, I was just like, that's them Lakers fans. I always think every star gonna come to them.
But think about it though, with Westbrook's contract out of there and he's expiring contracts, it's really a possibility. And LeBron always wants to play with great players, and the Lakers are known for making trades, like you're saying, because it's an attractive.
But what do y'all have? What do y'all have to offer?
Cap, like so.
No, I'm saying offer. Yeah,
AD.
You're gonna trade AD for Bradley Beal?
I wouldn't be opposed to it if his durability does not pan out again this year. Why not?
Nah, bro.
Talk about the future. Talk about the future of the Lakers. If we had a draft right now, I'm not picking AD for the next 5 years as opposed to Beal. We don't.
You're gonna pick Bradley Beal over AD.
Yes, because of AD, solely because of AD's durability. I don't know if he'll be available.
Before AD got hurt, he was playing like an MVP candidate this year.
When he's on the court, he's a top 5 player in this league. I truly believe that. But
use that same logic. When Bradley Beal is on the floor, he is not a top 5 player. Ever.
He's an Iron Man. So
he gets injured too.
Not near, I believe he gets injured because they ain't winning. But AD, like
my knee hurting a little bit, coach.
We're not gonna win. Why not? I'm gonna save it. Count my bread.
That 10 mil coming in this week.
Like, come on, like Bill was just second in points per game in the league on a trash team. He's getting double team night in and night out. If you put him around LeBron, someone who wants to play with stars, and yes, we got Westbrook without giving up AD. You see what I'm saying? Like, so I believe we can have a big three in some shape or form with Bill and picks because we're gonna have picks galore coming forward because we didn't give up the Westbrook pick, the first round pick that was supposed to go with Westbrook. That's a nice one.
Y'all gave up one
for Washington. One of them, but we still have the other one.
I think Bill would be a good fit for the Lakers, but I just don't think you guys have either a young talent to provide the Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
And also the cap space to even because you still whether or not LeBron is still going to make what damn near $50 million
around there.
$50 million a year. You're gonna have to pay Bill $50 million a year. You're gonna have to pay AD $40-something million a year. I don't know what his contract is, but you got 3 guys in damn near max deals. You're gonna have to just be signing players for the veteran minimum, and You're not going to be able to build around those three. AD can't stay healthy, and LeBron obviously can't play all 82 games. I mean,
Don't forget Beal. He another one.
I'm not I like, but Jimmy did say he wouldn't go out and get Bill as well. So I think me and him are on the same page. I would much rather go get a different player than
Yeah.
Bill.
Well, my only thing with the Lakers is it's like it ain't even it's Lakers too, but it's more so y'all don't have nothing nobody wants. Like I don't get it. Nobody wants that mess that they got over there, and they keep offering like, oh, the Lakers gonna be in on this guy, or the Lakers could get this guy. What assets do you have? There's plenty of other teams out here that have way more assets,
You know,
and huh?
you know what I think they're using it as their assets, but they also don't want to give it up. It's their future picks. When LeBron isn't there,
But that's what I'm
they
saying. They
have
already
to
gave
pick.
up one.
Yeah,
You still have
yeah,
another one, but
yeah. They still
Yeah,
have.
they got one, but what I'm saying is, you can't trade picks in consecutive years.
true.
So you gotta so that's what I'm saying. I think they might have a first round pick somewhere down the line, but they only got one that they can trade right now. Because they traded, I think, the 2026 or 27 pick this year.
You can argue that depth is something, like when you look at the teams that are in contention, the Celtics and Clippers come to mind. And really, the Clippers is just my heart saying that. And you said it earlier. You said Western Conference. I was like, wow, I'm shocked. I said second round exit for the Clippers, but they have depth. And with that, the Lakers actually have depth. After this trade, we have
Mhm.
mad depth. And with that depth, a lot of people are going to be falling off the roster. The formula going into the Westbrook situation was paying three max guys a high salary. So we've seen it before, and especially with LeBron. Before we've seen it, and I think LeBron will restructure his deal. He's not looking for that money. Sometimes you'll see him cut back, like, or go with 1 year deals. This is something different within the last I think 2 to 3 years. He's in this 4 year deal, so this is a new formula for LeBron because of his age. But I believe that Rob Pelinka, his job is on the line within the next couple moves. If he don't make certain moves that will allow us to be in contention next year specifically, and that means trading AD,
Yo,
we
why
need to
you
get
want to get rid of AT so
bro,
bad, bro?
bro. Is he not one of the most injury prone players in the league? The
Oh,
He
bubble,
100%.
is, he is, but when he's on the court, bruh is top 10.
right? Top five, top 10,
You
whatever.
you
But
send you send
yeah.
AD to the wrong team, and that team can go to the finals.
Yeah, they beat
Send,
Dame
se-
Dollar
hey,
in the first round. I know.
send him down there to Miami.
I hope y'all have better trainers because that's the only issue, bro.
Y'all
Like
can take
the,
Bam.
the only reason we want to, I don't, I want him defensively. I want him durability. I want his leadership. He gonna go up with two hands. He's not gonna fade all the time. I actually like that. Be physical. Be strong. Be the big man that you are. But AD, the only reason we won the championship is because Bron and AD got rest, like I said.
Mhm.
So is there going to be another lockout or bubble here soon? I don't think so. So I need to see them trade him for the true value that he is before he starts to regress.
And I don't know if y'all did anybody else, but I just wanted to say right quickly. I also had Damian Lillard. He another one. He can come down there to South Beach to us also.
That would be
We'll
sexy, right?
we'll welcome him. And
Man, I'll be going to
I
see
also
that.
got Cat going to the Knicks, going back home. Well, he's from Jersey, but still.
I like that. I like that.
Cool. All right, let's get into these dream playoff matchups. Which I got.
Man, I'm gonna start out east, man. I was able to see Joel Embiid almost take it from those Celtics last night with that late game, almost winning shot from the other 3-point line. Me and Baby Miles was going crazy. My queen, we was going crazy. Now, 76ers against the Cavs, bro. It's a battle of the bigs. And y'all, I love the bigs, man. They make me smile. Go up there and tap back, boy. Let's play big like the big men we are. And from there, we go Harden, Matt Mitchell. This is a series full of matchups, beautiful matchups. Harden and Mitchell are on two different ends of the spectrum for me. Harden in the postseason, he typically regresses. And Don, he steps up. Don, as far as his clutch factor, I would say it's on a different level than Harden in the postseason. You're talking about young stars, Maxey, Garland, the third option, the X factor. You could maybe put Tobias in there, but I believe Maxey should be truly their third option. And from there, we go old school. There's no school like the old school. And the keys to the game is really Joel Embiid being able to get Jared Allen in foul trouble. It's Harden being able to match Mitchell as far as in a different way, though. playmaking, be able to get the ball to pop when Joel is not cooking, to get the spacing. PJ Tucker, Tobias, Maxey, you got the dude Milton. These guys are able to space the floor. It's a different matchup, but it's a beautiful matchup because you're talking about Mosley, a true power forward who can also stretch the floor. But what they're trying to do is more so high low actions, get down to Mitchell downhill. I love it. Garland being able to be the playmaker we love, but also extend as well and eat for him and cook for himself. I believe the true matchup is the coaching matchup. Doc Rivers, I question his mind in the postseason. The last time we've seen him really do something is with all-time greats KG, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo as well. This squad is poised for a lot. They get to the free throw line a lot. Their free throw percentage will dictate a lot, but that matchup to me will throw it back. Throw it back to the old school. It's an old school like the old school.
So is this with Sixers and who matchup?
Cavs.
Sixers and Cavs. Okay.
Mhm.
That's your Eastern Conference matchup?
Yes, my dream matchup. I would love to see it. I would love to.
No, I'm saying Eastern Conference Finals. That's
No,
your Eastern.
no. I just want. I think it'd be more so a second round. I think it'll be based off seeding and stuff. I think the Cavs in the middle of the pack, and the 76ers are the third seed.
Who you got down?
Um, well, for mine, I got the Bucks and Celtics. They went to 7 games last year. Two best teams out east. I mean, nobody out east matters. To be honest with you, you got yes, nobody matters. Like I don't care about no Joel Embiid. Bro, don't do nothing in the playoffs. I'm not trying to hear nothing about him. Then you even got another choke artist right next to him in Harden. I don't
That's
care
true.
nothing about the 76ers. The Cavs, I think they're too young. I don't think they're gonna be able to. I don't think they have beaten the Celtics this year, but I think when the time comes, Tatum and Jalen Brown are gonna be too much for the Cavs. Um, I'm not even gonna start on my Heat. They trash. The Hawks, they dysfunctional. The Knicks, huh? Um, who else we got? The Raptors, really? Like, come
Yes,
on,
really.
man.
Yes.
Like it's like, bro, there's nobody out there. This is the matchup everybody's waiting to see. It's the two best teams out east. You got Giannis versus Tatum, arguably the two best players in the Eastern Conference, and excuse me. And now you talk about basically Giannis is probably going to have his full team around him probably when the playoffs come. Middleton is just working his way back in. Then you got the Celtics, who might be the deepest team in the whole league, to be honest with you. And they ain't took a step back, even with Udoka being parted ways with. So, hey, man, this the matchup I'm waiting to see, and I would like to see Middleton there this year to see what exactly happens because hey, Giannis was big boy in them last year, but the Celtics got up out of there. So that's who I want to see.
I like that. I like that. And so you said Celtics and Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy went Cavs and
Philly,
Sixers.
yeah.
I'm gonna go Cavs and I'm gonna go to Celtics. I think this team matches up. I think this game matches up perfectly. And I think you just said that what? I don't think you just said that the Cavs beat the Celtics. Well, they beat them twice
Twice.
this year. They beat them
Mm-hmm.
twice this year, both times in OT, by the
Mm-hmm.
way. And you know what? I love it because I think this matchup will go at least minimum 6 games. Minimum 6 games, could push to 7. Because I would love to see Mitchell, go score for score with Tatum and Brown. Because Mitchell, offensively, he he's a dog.
It's
I
true.
mean, and then you got Garland. He could facilitate. He could score. He's a rising star in this league. It's going to be a physical game, especially in the paint. I mean, you got the two, skinny towers as far as the Cavs, but they can block shots. They can get boards, but also you got Robert Williams down in the paint with the Celtics and Al Horford. You know, he'll get down and dirty and do the dirty work sometimes. Grant
Grant Williams.
Williams would do the dirty work. Come on, we can't forget about Marcus Smart, right? Marcus Smart out there, locking up. But I think this matchup defensively will be fantastic as far as both teams competing. And Don, you might be right that the Cavs might be just too young for this moment, but I think it would help this team grow playing the Celtics because I think they'll give them a run for their money.
Yes. And Karis LeVert and Garland, I think they might be able to equalize Jalen Hurts. I mean Jalen Hurts, Jalen Brown. I did that other day too. Yeah, Jalen Brown though. Yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
tough.
Oh yeah.
Mobley
like that.
stretching the floor. My gosh. The Cavs look good in the future. I love it. I love it.
Oh yeah. So we got the West. Don, what you got? What you got in the West?
I got the Suns versus the Clippers. It's more so because of the storylines, to be honest with you. You got KD versus Russ, then you also got KD versus Kawhi, and when they played, when did it, was that last year that they played the Suns and Clippers? Was that last year
Yes.
or the year?
Yes. 2 years ago.
Okay, well, whatever year it was, there was some chirping going back and forth with D Book and Paul George. D Book called him soft. It is I want to see this. I do. I want to see Monty versus Ty Lue. It's just the storyline. I want to see KD knock Russ out the playoffs. That's what I want to see. Like that's just what I'm telling you. I guess that's my prediction. That's what's gonna happen. Like I really would love to see this. I mean, you talk about arguably I can't even say two of the top 5 small forwards in this game right now, and you got the Slim Reaper who does show up in the playoffs. Kawhi shows up in the playoffs. D Book, an elite scorer. Say what you want about Paul George, another elite scorer, and then you got Chris Paul versus the Clippers. I'm sure he's going to want to knock them out also. So for me, that's just what I'm looking for, and then I'm looking forward to seeing Russ just go 100 miles down the court, clank it off the backboard, cost the Clippers the game. But who y'all got?
I gotta take this one, Jimmy, because I mean, it's for me, it's Suns versus anybody. Because you hit it right on the money, man. Suns versus anybody, because it's all about the storyline. It's all about the storyline. KD goes to the Suns. You got Chris Paul trying to win his ring, right? You got KD looking for his 3rd ring. You got KD. What if they play the Warriors? KD's playing against his old squad. Look at that. Then you got to worry about who's going to guard KD, who's going to guard Booker. I'm just talking about in general. Anyone in the West, who's going to guard KD and Booker? Who's going to take that matchup? What if KD plays the Mavs? Guess who he has to go against? Kyrie Irving. Let's see that matchup. Let's see how that plans out. KD. What if he knocks out LeBron James and the Lakers?
Jesus.
Storyline. KD. What if they beat Memphis? What if they take out the top dogs? That's currently in the West. The Memphis Grizzlies or the Denver Nuggets. Who's going to stop KD? Because like Don said, KD, the Slim Reaper, shows up in the playoffs. Maybe not last year. Well, granted, I'm going to give Kyrie and KD a pass from last year. I don't want to hear about anything in the playoffs. They had that Nets organization was in turmoil. I'm going to give them a pass. So now they got fresh starts. They both got fresh starts. So, again, who will guard KD? And it's all about the storyline because that's going to be the most watched series no matter who they play. Everyone's going to tune into that Suns roster because when they're healthy, they are going to score the ball and they're going to be tough to beat, man. They're going to be tough to beat. And then like Don said, what if they play the Clippers? You got Westbrook, you got Kawhi, Paul George. I think that'll be a good matchup, honestly. That might be the best matchup for the Suns. But
all them good matchups for the Suns.
Hey, I just want to see. Hey, we're gonna get to this championship soon. So go ahead, Jim.
Oh gosh,
he got to defend Russ. I see the
Russ
team coming out of his.
That Suns hate about to come real quick.
Suns hate the Russ love. What you got, Jimmy?
What I got is a whole lot of blasphemy. Besides one statement, no one can stop KD scoring wise. You see what I'm saying? Only KD can stop KD and a team defense, which the West has nothing to show of, like those Celtics did last year. And we are going to speak about last year because I don't give a damn what's going on behind the scenes. Y'all just exposed what was going on behind the scenes. Somebody always got something going on behind the scenes. We just know what their story was behind the scenes. It was being shown on FS1, ESPN, Fox, CNN, so we get it. KD, it's not a pass. It's not a pass. You were going there to create and build on your legacy because the legacy you got submitted with the Warriors isn't enough for the caliber of greatness we think you can reach. This Suns situation allows you to get there. And yes, the angles, I love it. The angles were beautiful until you bring up Westbrook clinking it. Don't like the disrespect. Don't like the disrespect. We see enough of that in today's media. And as far as those angles within the Suns and Clippers series, you almost made me change my thing around, but I'm not going to. And I'm going to go back to Cali real soon. So as far as the Nuggets, that's not a beautiful angle. Nuggets Suns, I would love to see it. I mean, it'd be good matchups across the board. Aiton, athletic guy, who potentially keep up with the Joker. And then there's no one who can guard KD, regardless of no one person can. A scheme, a system can. And when you add that with another elite guy who can play off ball and on ball like Devin Booker, and he wants to, and then you have a floor general too, this is beautiful. It's beautiful. The Clippers would be the one team that maybe if you had to choose people, Kawhi, PG, Robert Covington, Batum, Morris, they have a lot of guys that you as far as style, the type of player, elite wing, talking about wingspan and such. The Clippers have that. They have something that can, the closest thing that can mimic what the Celtics did to the KD led Nets last year. The Westbrook, I'm just going to leave it where it is because I've defended him before and I can't defend him too much because he's not close to his prime anymore. So we will see. He has to prove a lot. But for me, I'm going to go back to Cali with the Clippers and the Lakers because that's the beautiful matchup we've been waiting to see. This has been brewing for a long time. And yes, the Lakers have to make it. But imagine if the all right. So if the Lakers do make it, I think Joy Taylor said it on FS1 early this week. The Lakers team will be very, very different if they do make it, which is still a possibility. And if let's say they make the play-in tournament. Last year, a lot of times the Lakers didn't want to see the teams that were in the play-in tournament, like the Pelicans and such. But this year, now you don't want to see the Lakers. This Lakers team has way more firepower, way more spacing for LeBron to eat, and he's already been eating without it. For AD to eat if he's healthy, and he's already been eating without it. They have another true center who can stretch the floor, Mo Bamba. LeBron with bigs who can stretch the floor, it's an issue. Look at the track record with the rosters he's had before. If this D'Angelo Russell, he just got banged up. D'Angelo Russell and Malik Beasley can create for themselves. The Lakers have been lacking that for a long time because we've been trying to build for exactly this, another run at it. And the Clippers, you remember the commercial with Kawhi Leonard, the whole, the crown dangling and his cards. He's coming, he's back in Cali. It's about to be his city. We haven't seen it just yet. But if the Clippers and Lakers matched up, I think a lot of pent-up aggression will be shown on that court. We're talking about matchups. Let's talk about LeBron and Kawhi. Let's talk about Paul George and AD, two guys that need to prove something to me in the playoffs. I mean, it's a beautiful series. You're talking about Russ going back to the Lakers. He just was on them Lakers. So being able to give it to him, you want to see him run down the court and clink it. I want to see him dunk on somebody and rock the baby. You see what I'm saying? So, and if that happens in Oracle, my fault, crypto.com, beautiful thing. If that happens in that arena, the crowd is going to go crazy regardless. They're going to be either booing the heck out of Russ or clapping it up for Russ. And I love to see it because Russ is an entertainment. Russ, we want to see it. Bubble championship, did it matter? Bubble loss, did it matter? Clippers, prove it against the Lakers. Lakers, prove it against the Clippers. Whose arena is it really? That'd be beautiful.
I like that, but at the same time, I don't like it because the Clippers always beat the Lakers. So it's like
in the series.
No, they haven't matched up in the series, but ever since Kawhi, I'm saying since Kawhi has came there, the Clippers have a way better record over the Lakers. Like, so that's why I'm just like, with much change in the playoffs, I don't know. Maybe it could just.
Do you believe this Laker roster is the best or better than the bubble roster?
No.
I got to hold on. You got to think about who they had.
Dwight, JaVale.
They had Rondo. They had
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Kuzma.
Kuzma was on that team?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
That's tough.
AD playing well. Uh, yeah, LeBron at a younger age.
I can't. It's hard to say because you got so many unproven players right now in the playoffs compared to you seen Dwight and Rondo up their game in the play in the bubble. So it's hard to say what D'Angelo Russell or Vanderbilt would do. It's hard to really say
They
what
also
they.
they also had Danny Green
Yeah. So
and Jr.
I say this. On paper, to me, this looks like a better team, to be honest with you. And they've been playing better since they've made this trade. I cannot lie. They look good. They do. But it all boils down to how much faith do you have in this team over some of these other teams out west? And for me, I don't have it. I would still take a good bit of these teams before I get to the Lakers and be like, yeah, I'm rolling with them. Like I'm still taking the Clippers, Suns, Nuggets, Mavs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm gonna take a little homer pick. The Kings are surprising me, man. I would probably still take the Kings, to be honest with
In a
you.
7-game series against LeBron James.
I know it's crazy. I know it sounds crazy to say because it's LeBron, but I just like the way the Kings play, man.
They
I
score the ball
really
very well.
Their brand of
they
basketball is
They're the
beautiful.
highest scoring team in the league
that's what
right
I was
now.
about to say. Like they are really efficient and they get up and down the floor really quickly.
Mhm.
Swiper is that guy. Sabonis is that guy. Hey, Malik Monk put up 40 something the other night. Burr came off the bench, put up 40 something. Don't hate. He was with y'all. Don't
No,
hate.
I'm not hating. Everyone's putting up 40 something.
So
Overtime,
Oh,
double
it's a new
overtime.
league. New league.
and so that's what I'm just like. I don't know where I stand on the Lakers. I say this. I probably would take them over Golden State. Like Golden State has really fallen off, and I get it. They don't have Steph, but I'm just not impressed. I really ain't.
You say you take the Kings over Golden State?
Yes, right now. Yes,
Without Steph, yeah, I'll take them.
yes.
A 7. Well, yeah, of course, without Steph.
In a 7 game series, probably not because Golden State has been there so much. But I'll take the Kings over the Lakers.
In a 7 against LeBron James.
Mhm.
Whatever. Wow.
I'm just
Man,
it might be partly because I'm high on the Kings. So I'll preface that by
nah,
saying
nigga,
I
you
might
high
be
as
a
hell
little
on
bit
the Kings. You high as
and
hell.
I'll preface that and say I might be a little bit biased when I
Okay,
say this because
okay.
De'Aaron Fox is my favorite player in the league right now.
Mm.
So I'll say that. So don't hold me to this if they lose to somebody and be like, Don, you said that. Nigga, I told you I was biased.
Okay. Thank you for prefacing your comments. Yo, this and the last thing I will say about this Cali, rivalry, whatever you want to call it, just because Kawhi and him has been winning since he got there. Russ, this thing, it affects and puts a lot of pressure on everybody. The Clippers, the Lakers, and Russell Westbrook. The window for the Clippers is steadily closing. The Lakers just had Russ. And Russ, if you don't show it here, I don't know if you're gonna be able to show it anywhere after this. Will you be on a roster next year? This is one of your biggest fans here, Jimmy Rankin, Russell Westbrook fan. I rock the baby. I got the why nots in the closet. About to whip them out. Yo, you got to show something this year. This year, right now. This is ridiculous.
Oh
Oh
man.
Jesus!
Oh man.
Impressive. He got the wide nuts in the
You got the why
closet.
nots. The high top, yeah, the zip ups. It's nice. It's smooth.
Championship. Which y'all dream championship matchup?
Mm, mm. For me, again, it's the Warriors and the Bucks. I want to see Giannis have a potential to win his second championship and solidify something. And Steph, we're in the midst of a dynasty. I always want to see this dynasty go as long as it possibly can. And Steph Curry's changing the game daily, monthly, yearly. So I would love to see that.
What
Go
you
ahead,
got,
Darius.
guy?
Oh, all right.
I
Go ahead.
I got this. I got the Suns and the Bucks, the healthy Bucks. I want to see a full healthy Bucks roster with their big three, Holiday, Middleton, and Giannis. And I want to see the X factor with KD on the Suns. Suns get their rematch. CP finally wins his ring,
Mm.
and I mean the Bucks. One of you guys brought up a point. The Bucks is playing very well right now. They're on a 13-game win streak.
Mhm.
So they're on a tear right now, and Giannis is on a mission. And but I want to see that's the matchup I want to see again. I want to see the Suns get an opportunity to win another championship. And with this roster, I think they will.
Let me ask y'all a quick question. I hear y'all both said the Bucks, so y'all have the Bucks coming out the East. Oh, y'all get to that when we get there.
I would love to see them come out. I love Giannis's intensity and passion, but Jason and Tatum need to be Jalen and Tatum. Jalen and Jason need to be those guys. This is the time to elevate. This combo should be elite for years to come. But Giannis has already shown he's elite. So
I'm not saying the Bucks is going to come out the East. That's just my dream matchup. I don't know who I got coming out the East at the moment. But
I guess we get to that when the playoffs time.
Yeah, we need to see
the Suns will be there.
Mine is the Suns and Celtics. I want KD to get his revenge on what the Celtics did to him last year. He'll have a better co-star this year, and then he'll have a floor general with him and a more better all-around team with him, with a way better head coach who knows how to make adjustments and put his players in the right position. You talking about three of the best mid-range killers that we ever gonna see. Hey, I'm ready for this. Like, I want to see Tatum versus KD again. I want to see D Book just cooking that boy Jaylen Brown. I want to see that. I want to see Marcus Smart hounding Chris Paul all up at full court. I want to see that. I want to see, Robert Williams and DeAndre Ayton do whatever they're going to do down there. Don't know what's going to happen on any given night. But I'm really interested in this matchup, and the Suns bench is starting to get a little bit better. I mean, they got Terrence Ross now. They still have Cameron Payne came back the other night. They still have Damian Lee. I forgot Lindale. I think that's the center name. And they talking about maybe bringing in Melo. So hey, that'd be another little scoring punch off the bench.
Yeah.
Warner is fine at that spot. Derrick Rose is a more attractive pickup, I believe.
That too.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not that. Melo, my guy, but it might be time, bro.
Jimmy, it's amazing. He low up on Melo, but then he high on Baker. How that work?
Melo is 39 years old,
and Baker is trash. Baker was never good.
You can't even put them in the same category.
You're right. But
Baker Mayfield is 26. Is 26, 27 years old, and I say he could start as a quarterback in this league. Melo is 39 years old. He hasn't even played.
He can't be on the bench.
He didn't play basketball. Why?
Why not?
What is it gonna do for Melo? It's not about
get a ring. He get a ring.
No, I'd rather not get it. I'd rather if I'm Melo, I would want to contribute to the ring. I don't want to just be on the ride.
He's gonna come off the bench.
What? He's not coming.
Yeah. Hey, where he coming in at? Where he coming in at? Bro. You already got KD, D Book. What his name is? Craig. Warner. Warren. You got Torrey Craig. He can't start over neither one of them. Come off the bench.
About him starting. If I'm Melo, what does it benefit me to go there? I'm not Chris Paul. I'm not Chris Paul. Still playing at a high level, at a solid level. Mm-hmm. He's still putting up double doubles every so often in the league right now. Melo is not out there putting up 24 points a game, 20 points a game like he was doing.
He ain't got to. Average. He don't got to. He got two workhorses. Let me ask you this: if you was in the league and you done did everything underneath the sun, besides the one thing you ain't did is get a championship, and you get the opportunity to go join probably one of the favorites out there in the West, would you not go there, even if you're just gonna sit on the bench?
Bro, what does it do for me in my career?
People can't say that you never won.
I'd rather them say I never won a ring than go and sit on the bench for a ring. It doesn't mean.
But people can't. But Matt Barnes is never on the same level as Melo. So okay, like even Jerry West, he won one, but people aren't like talking down on him because he did win that one.
He was a part of the
You
big reason, part of why they won that one. Melo
but
would not be a part of the pie.
Let me ask you
but
this. Let me ask you this. Is LaShawn McCoy? Is LaShawn McCoy? Did he put up career? Did he put up enough?
someone when
Rush.
he's with the Chiefs.
Just hear me out. Did he put up enough yards in all pros, in Pro Bowls, to potentially get himself into the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
He has over 10,000 rush yards, by the way.
I would say yes, but I don't know if he would. I
Does
don't
his
think he's
ring
going
with
to
the
make
Chiefs
it.
matter?
No,
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm still not putting LaShawn
hold
McCoy
on,
and Melo on the same
hold on.
pedestal.
NFL, and NBA is a little bit different though.
How
You
is it
don't like.
different?
Okay, for instance, there's millions of guys that don't win championships, and people don't really talk about them like that. If they're all time greats, compared to if you're one of those guys like how Melo, Charles Barkley, like these guys that AI that have never won, that comes associated when they start talking about you. Some of these guys in NFL that haven't done nothing, or like even Jimmy's guy, Aaron Rodgers, he's only won one championship. People don't really bring that up too often. They just like Aaron Rodgers is like he's arguably one of the best to ever do it. Like they don't just come up and say, "Oh, he only won one championship though." In all these years he's been in the league.
Bro, you just proved my point.
I say that, but
How I prove your point?
You just proved my point that it's not gonna mean
there's no
anything.
point in him going there.
It's not gonna mean anything for Melo.
And the fit is terrible.
You know what?
No, that's
You know
what I'm saying.
You
It
know what?
matters more in the NBA than the NFL. That was my point.
It's all good because we're gonna get right into this next segment as far as Lamar Jackson. I'm not gonna let you start me up on this nigga nonsense. Look at it. Look at it. You just started with
Hey
this
Jimmy,
nigga
hey
nonsense.
Jimmy. What we got to do is every week one of us got to say something for him to have to say that to us. I don't think that was nigga nonsense, but hey, we gonna move on.
Sorry, I'm co-signing that motherfucker. Yo, that was nigga nonsense. Melo going to the, he
Wild.
wants to matter, be a part of the pie.
Yes.
Come on, man.
For all that, he might as well go to,
His
you know what?
ego.
You know what?
Let me.
We're not gonna
I
in this
get
Melo
that.
topic
I get
right
that.
now.
But look, if you had a chance to get a championship, that's the only thing you ain't got. You wouldn't take the opportunity.
I
Nah,
just
Just
said
like
how you
just
win.
like Gary Payton and Karl Malone tried it with the Lakers.
They were
You wouldn't
old.
try it.
They were old and
Yeah.
fit those situations.
Melo was old.
How you win
And
matters.
Chris Paul is his boy. I agree. How you win does matter. But at the end of the day, you still have a championship. That's all I'm saying.
Lamar Jackson. All right. Put your GM caps on. Put your GM caps on. Would you pay Lamar Jackson? If not, would you trade him or tag him? You know what? I'll start it. If I'm the Ravens, you know what? I'm not gonna pay you as an organization. If I'm the GM, I'm okay. Because you know why? I have a track record of drafting very well. Kyle Hamilton, who I thought was the best overall player coming out of the draft. I personally thought he was the best overall player and will have one of the best careers out of everybody. But you just can't draft a safety top 5, which is why we drafted Drake London. You know what I'm saying? So whatever. So anyway, rated number 1 safety in the league. Tyler Linderbaum. I think he'll make a couple of All Pros in his career. Rashad Bateman, if he stays healthy, I think he'll be a solid weapon for this team. Odafe Owen, he's playing very well defensively. He creates pressure. Patrick Queen, very good player. J.K. Dobbins, when healthy, we saw later in the year, he started picking it up. He was playing very well. Ben Powers, who started 17 games. Lamar Jackson, I mean, they got him late in the first round. Mark Andrews, Marlon Humphreys. These are guys since 2017 that the Ravens have drafted in the first and early rounds to develop and are still with the roster at this time. I just think the price tag is too high for a guy who missed 10 games in 2 years and who hasn't thrown over 20 touchdowns in 2 years. Honestly, I'm in a tricky situation here because I am a Falcons fan, but if I'm talking sports, I got to be real. If I'm the Ravens, I'm pushing Atlanta. I'm calling. I'm trying to find a way to get him to Atlanta. If I'm Atlanta, I don't want him because that's not how you build your roster. Not at this time because you have other pieces that you need to build around first before you go pay a $250 million quarterback. Honestly, I'm calling Atlanta because at minimum I'm getting 2 first round draft picks. So I get the 8th pick and I got the 23rd pick. With that, why not trade that to the Bears? Right? I go up and I can get Young or Stroud. I'll give them the 8th pick. I'll also give them the next year's first round draft pick because then I'll have 4 total first round draft picks in the next 2 years. Hopefully, I'm able to keep my 23rd pick, and I got to give up maybe a second or third with that as well. And I'll potentially get Ritter. I don't know, right? If I get Ritter, whatever. I still draft Stroud or Young, and I'll start fresh. And with that, and I'll find a way to go get D-Hop. I'm going to find a way to go get D-Hop as well. So now I got a young quarterback. I got Bateman. I still got draft capital. And I find a way to get D-Hop at some point. And you know what? With that 23rd pick, why not add some defensive back depth? Why not add a receiver? You still got Quentin Johnson was out there. You can draft if no one takes Jackson from Ohio State, you go get him. Or you take a draft pick on Brian Robinson. You build around that running back right there. You're a run first offense anyway. So, I mean, I think the damage is done. Whether you pay him or not, it's not going to matter. If you pay him, cool. Now you got your franchise quarterback for years. But then you may run into the situation where Dak isn't going to give Jerry a championship. It's unfortunate, but he's not. Jerry didn't want to pay Dak the money that he paid him. Dak also has a no trade clause. So you can't trade him. Well, if you do trade him, he gets to pick where he wants to go. And if you cut him, you're going to have to pay him $72 million. So now we're getting into a GM and player battle where if it doesn't work out, it's just going to get ugly in the end. The franchise tag, you're going to have to pay him a stupid amount of money. It really doesn't benefit the player or the organization because after 2 years of franchise tag, if he doesn't give you a championship anyway, what does it matter? So honestly, I'll find a way to get rid of him and I'll move forward. If I'm Lamar Jackson, either way, I know I'm getting the bag. Whether I play on a franchise tag, whether I get traded and I go to a different team because we're going to have to negotiate a contract anyway. So I know I'm going to get my money some way, somehow. It's just who's going to pay me. And that's how I see it.
Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead.
No,
I'm sure you're gonna be on that same mess with him. So that's why I'm like, hey, I'll let them two go because I know they're on the same page with each other today.
Because you shocked me and then you didn't, then you shocked me. I'm limbo. You got me over here. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should weave it, attack it, or what. But for me, first things first. The franchise tag is disrespectful. Lamar, don't play on that shit, especially with your style of play. The reason we're even having this debate right now is because it's his ability and his durability. Those are the two biggest questions. If this was Justin Herbert, we would not come on. His ability and his durability is a part of why his style of play. This guy is different, and the Deshaun Watson standard is why we are having this conversation as well. But with Deshaun Watson, Cleveland did not and does not have to build as much around him as opposed to Lamar Jackson and those Ravens. Yes, they draft very well. They have pieces that will be good, but there's certain things that would help Lamar's lack of ability on the perimeter that Watson already has built in and has proven with his track record. O-line is solidified, running game, one of the best in the league. So it's a different situation. So Lamar, stop asking for fully guaranteed money, that of the likes of Deshaun Watson, because your situation isn't Deshaun Watson. And I'm sorry, your ability and durability is not that of Deshaun Watson. So for me, I do believe he does need a long-term deal. That's the only thing that is respectful. Where he gets it is the biggest question. And Lamar, if you're saying you can't cry for more weapons while also saying I want fully guaranteed dollars, the likes of Deshaun. One of the other have to be your angle. If you need want more weapons, help us get you more weapons. The Ravens franchise have not been great based off of one guy. These are multiple guys dating back 20 plus years that these guys have been banking on. So Lamar, if you're going to handicap us, then forget it. Go play elsewhere because we can find talent that is less than yours at this same position and maximize the things that we're already good at and been great at. As far as culture, we can get that back intact with Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen. That's how they built their successes, through their defense. So with that being said, and their O-line, with that being said, I believe they can either pay him a reasonable amount of money with about a 3 to 4 year deal, not as much guaranteed dollars as he would like for the likes of the roster and Lamar, because he still needs to get paid, but the franchise tag is off the question. As far as a trade, that trade will be fine. A sign and trade, I think, will be fine, but I don't think it'll be fine for Lamar. The Ravens are going to be good regardless. Like, if they sign Lamar, if they don't sign Lamar, this is a franchise that doesn't have many questions. Lamar is just based off of what type of lifestyle, what type of legacy do you want to lead? Do you want it to be more difficult? Do you want to get paid off rip? What do you want to do? Is this Kyler Murray? Like Kyler Murray, I believe it's got paid sooner than what he should have, but the situation is way worse than Lamar. So, and I'm going to speak on the Cardinals a little bit later. It's going to be quite a process for those Cardinals. It won't be quite a process for these Ravens. So Lamar, tread water real carefully, man, because you could be going to a situation like the Falcons, like you just alluded to, like the Bears, potentially, like a situation where there's a lot more that you need than what the Ravens were able to offer
you. Let me ask you a question here. I'm sorry, Don.
No, you're good.
But you said, so if you're Lamar Jackson, you're not going to ask for $250 million. I led this team to two playoff seasons.
No, more than that.
Was it 3? No, he played
like 4.
His
every
rookie season.
Every year that he's played, the team made the playoffs.
True.
Except this year. Well, he missed.
I mean, he was there.
Second half of the season. Okay, let's granted. Every year he was a full-time starter and he played majority of the games. They went to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I won a unanimous MVP at that. Mm-hmm. Unanimous MVP. And I'm not worth $250 million.
No, I would argue Tom Brady wasn't either. You see what I'm saying? Like, players who just because you're valued here doesn't mean you should get this if we need certain things to help you. And his ability, I highlighted first, and durability. Let's help you with the roster construction so we don't have to question your durability and we can maximize your actual ability.
And that's the perfect thing. You just said the perfect answer for this particular topic. So when you say that if I'm Lamar Jackson, I shouldn't want $250 million. No, if I'm Lamar Jackson, I want $250 million. The rest of the cap, that's your problem. That's your problem as the owner to figure that out. You better figure out how to get me the talent. Hey, I'm not out there in the media saying, hey, I need a receiver. Oh, man, Rashad Bateman dropped all those passes, man. That's why we lost the game, like Aaron Rodgers. But anyway, I'm just out there. I'm just playing ball. I just want my money. It's your job to figure it out how to get me more talent. It's the media saying I need more talent, which is true, because that is true. He does need more talent, but he's worth the money. It's just as a GM, which that's the question. If you're the GM, would you pay him? And I'm with you. I would not pay him unless you take a cheaper deal. Like I'm going to bring up, hey, Brady did. I'm going to bring up other examples of different players like Mahomes, Brady taking team-friendly deals in order for us to win championships. But as the player, Lamar Jackson is definitely worth the $250 he should be asking for. That should be his price tag.
What is his championship price tag? Because you might have to sacrifice something to get there.
That is very true. It may be a championship, and that's why I said they may fall into that Dak Prescott situation.
Is he Bradley Beal? Is he Dame Dollar?
He's Dame Dollar.
Okay. So you think he'll stay put? He has a mindset to win because that's what Dame's done.
I think Lamar is going to go where the bag goes. So
that ain't Dame.
That's not Dame. But if you're saying talent level, I mean,
for sure, talent.
He's Dame. He's Dame talent level.
But his angle towards the championship. That's all. We're good.
There's. I'm gonna use your line. I heard a whole bunch of nigga nonsense coming up out of y'all 2 miles over there. You said, I don't even know who to start with first. let's just go straight to this. You said you wouldn't pay Lamar, but Lamar is the reasons the Ravens are even good. And it came out this week. He told Stephen A. he didn't even want a fully guaranteed deal. The Ravens have not offered him over $133 million. That's less than Watson, Murray, Russell Wilson, and Rodgers. Lamar Jackson is better than all four of them, literally. Jimmy, I heard you say Watson is more durable. Bruh missed 2 years. I don't know how durable that is.
Based off of durability or
Hey,
the
he
law?
missed. He
Yo,
missed. Who fault is that?
durability is not durability in the
Hey,
law.
I can only go about what you if
What?
you're on the field. Durability is
That's
what this.
availability you're talking
Yeah,
about.
that's what I was about to say. What's the best thing? Availability. You wasn't out there, and why wasn't you out there? Because of your own doing. So I can't sit here and say he's more durable or it's saying
Available.
they fall underneath the same category to me. Being durable and being like available is the same thing. Because if you're not durable, you're not available.
Well,
So
can I please respond to that, please?
what's up?
His durability is not in his control. Injuries, you can't help if you get injured. Only
I
thing you can do
agree.
is potentially change your play style.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing within his body. Again, his lack of ability is in Deshaun's control. So that we would assume because you can control it, you can change it. If you can't control something out of your control, and that's what's been leading to your lack of ability, why would I hang my hat on something you can't control yourself?
My only pushback on that is it's I get it. Lamar has missed what 5 games in the last 2 seasons, but at the same time, Watson missed 2 years because of what he did. So I can't sit here and knock Lamar because he got injured the last 5 games. Hey, injuries can happen to anybody. Hell, Watson might get injured next year, but I'm knock on wood. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, he's injury prone or whatnot. I don't think that. And this year when he got injured, it wasn't like he was scrambling or anything. Bro was in the pocket. So I don't know, man. Like everybody gets injured. Um, Other one, Kyler Murray. Lamar Jackson is way better than Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray, I just had to look it up. Kyler Murray got $189 million in guarantee. Are you winning a championship with Kyler Murray? The answer is no. Are you winning a championship with Russell Wilson, who has 165 million guarantee? No. Aaron Rodgers, 150. No. Watson, 230. Hell to the no. Like I hear you said that, oh, Watson's situation is better. It's not. The Ravens defense is way better than the Cleveland Browns defense. The Ravens offensive line isn't the Browns offensive line, but they aren't trash. They I'll give you the weapons, but at the same time, that's all it is. I heard you also say he shouldn't take all the money because you need to build a team around him. Well, Jimmy, what the hell was going on these last 4 years that Lamar was there that they didn't get him no offensive weapons when they had ample enough opportunity to get him weapons and they chose not to? Now Lamar is supposed to take a pay cut to help them get weapons when they had all this time and they kept getting old washed up wide receiver after washed up wide receiver to come in there. Sammy Watkins, Deshaun Jackson. Where was all this energy at when he was on a low cap hit number, a low cap number? Where was that energy? Man, look here. If I'm Lamar, I want to go. I don't. We ain't even got to go to this bum ass Falcons. Send him to Carolina. The Panthers would. Hey, I don't. For me personally, if Lamar goes to, I even say this: if he goes to the Falcons, Panthers, Commanders, or the Lions, they are at least the third best team in the NFC. Because I
If he
don't think
goes
the
to
Ravens.
if he goes to the if he goes to the Commanders, that's the best. That's the best overall team out of all those teams.
No, but I'm saying any of those teams, I think they're the third best team in the NFC because now it's them or Dallas because you got the 49ers and the Eagles. I don't think the Ravens would trade him in conference. So now you're talking about just NFC teams. So Falcons, Panthers, Commanders, and Lions. And if you ask me, he gonna win with all four of them, to be honest with you. All of them have some weapons. Even though I like to poo-poo your Falcons, y'all got some weapons over there. Panthers got
That
some
being
weapons.
disrespected that you just said bum ass Falcons. Don't think I didn't hear that.
I mean, I gave y'all acknowledgement to have weapons.
Just put some respect on us before you say bum ass Before you say bum ass Falcons, just put some respect on this real quick.
I gave y'all respect after. Then you talk about like Commanders. They got like a little mini good trio of wide receivers. The Lions, like bro, like I really feel like because Lamar has gotten injured these last couple of years, people are really starting to like really like take for granted how good this man really is. Like we people out here trying to put Deshaun Watson, who has looked nothing but ass this whole year and missed 2 seasons, trying to put him over Lamar Jackson. That is crazy. Like, hey, put some respect on this man. If I'm the Ravens, I'm not saying go out here. And Lamar said he didn't ask for a fully guaranteed contract. He said that this week. So if you're not offering asking for a fully guaranteed contract, give that man 200 mil guaranteed. That'll get you at least above Kyler Murray, because he's better than Kyler Murray. He's better than Russell Wilson. He's better than Aaron Rodgers. If you and then just have some type of incentives where he can get above Deshaun Watson. That's what I would want to do if I was the Ravens, because now you talking about banking on the draft, bringing in some unknown commodity when you have a franchise guy right there. And now you're gonna come in here and say, "Oh well, we can go draft this guy with these picks or that guy." There's no guarantee that that guy's gonna even work out for you, to be honest with you. So I like proving. That's me.
But all right, that's very true. But you don't think that these top quarterbacks in this draft can do enough with that organization? But they must bring in another weapon in order to help out if they were to go up to get Stroud or
But that's the thing. Like I've heard that the Ravens probably would not trade him inside the AFC. So
I didn't say
that takes
I didn't say trade inside the
You said
AFC.
Bears.
no,
I
but that's
said
what I'm saying. So you're saying like he said Stroud or Bryce Young. So the first couple picks, if you're talking about the Bears, that's NFC, and then the number 2 pick is who?
I said send them to Atlanta for the eighth pick.
Yeah.
You get the eighth pick, and then next in Atlanta's next year's first round draft pick. So
Mm-hmm.
in 2 years, just this year, the Ravens have the eighth pick, the 23rd pick, and then next year they have 2 first round draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
And you would assume that Atlanta's first round draft pick is a high draft pick.
Not if they get
Oh
Lamar,
yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, a mid level
I say in the
draft pick,
20s.
mid level draft pick, right? So you either gonna have to trade 2 first rounds this year and then next year's first, which is okay, or you trade this year's first, next year's first, and either second and third round, wherever here or there, either this year, next year, however you
But
want to look at it.
but
And you
but
go up and trade the Bears. The Bears is gonna take the draft capital. They still get a top 10 pick this year.
so who are you saying? Are you saying like they get Justin Fields, or are you saying they get one of these draft prospects that's coming out?
Well, if they get because if they trade him to the Bears, they might as well just get Fields.
Okay, but Justin Fields has proven that he's good. He's good generational runner, but he's not proven enough with his arm
Yeah,
for me to be
but
like,
at the end of the day, it's not about proving anything.
no,
It's about the money. It's all about the
I
money.
agree. But you don't think you're gonna have to pay Justin Fields also?
But you don't have to pay him until another 3 years.
Rookie contract.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. But my only thing is, I like a guy that has already proven. Lamar has proven that he is at his best. Lamar is a top 5 quarterback in this league.
I'm not,
So
I'm not
now
gonna
we
lie.
talk about
I'm not following you here. Or is Lamar leaving? Is he staying? Are they
I
paying him?
if I'm me, if I'm Lamar, I want to leave. Like they're not appreciating your greatness, to be honest with you. Like the Ravens are like, bro, the Ravens are not like that without Lamar. Like, to be honest with you, Lamar gives them the only hope they have to beat like the Bengals, the Bills, the Chiefs. Like, their defense is great. I agree with that. But their offense, we saw with Tyler Huntley this year. Like, what we doing here, bro? Like, they didn't get over 17 points with Tyler Huntley starting.
And you don't think that they can do more with a
But
pros,
okay, you say
prospect quarterback or Justin Fields?
maybe Justin Fields, maybe because of the run scheme, but they just bought in an OC that's a pass first. He runs a pass first scheme. But okay, you talk about Bryce Young. I'm I'm starting to not be as high on Bryce Young, to be honest with you.
I
Like,
like CJ Stroud over him, but that's just
I
me.
would say that. I would say that too because Bryce Young is fragile. He's small, and then you're talking about playing in cold weather. Like, hey, they said he ain't that good in cold weather. So now you're talking about playing outdoors. Baltimore, Cincinnati, Steelers. Man, they gonna fold that little boy up back there. Stop playing with that division. They said that's the CTE division because they always knocking people out. Like, stop playing with them. Um, and then I give you Stroud. He's a big body. He's good, but they said he's a Dak Prescott compared. That's his pro comparison. Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's not better than Lamar Jackson. So I get it. I get it. Y'all saying like, oh, you don't have to pay Lamar, but you at the end of the day, you're gonna have to pay somebody, and the cap is going nothing but up. So yeah, so they had an opportunity to pay Lamar what last year or 2 years ago, whatever the amount was. It wasn't as high as it is now. They decided to not do it. So now the cap then keep rising, and now you got Burrow, Herbert, and all the Hurts coming up. Who's going to get these massive contracts? And now you're looking crazy because you don't want to pay Lamar this massive contract. Like, nah, you can't do that, man.
Yeah, you definitely can do that. But the angle I'm going to start from is his style. Remember when basketball we were talking about, can this style of play win a championship? Can this style of play with Lamar Jackson win a championship? We just seen our true first dual threat quarterback, a real runner, Jalen Hurts, make it. And his situation is that because he's on a rookie contract, so they're able to do certain things that we need done for Lamar. And as far as those top names, the reason we're having this conversation with Lamar, but not those top names, is because the ability of those top names is different than Lamar. And again, back to his play style. That's his ability. We have to see if this ability, this play style is in win championships. If we're gonna, put our eggs in one basket with you per se, we need to know that this style has a blueprint that can be followed. And the Eagles is the closest thing to it. And the Eagles right now, this is crunch time for them this year because there's a lot of decisions that will affect Jalen Hurts' situation. But I could say that Jalen Hurts' arm is better than Lamar Jackson's. I would say that today, and he has a smaller sample size, and I'm saying that he did it on a bigger scale, and I believe Lamar Jackson. You're talking about the angle of Lamar. We're all talking about the angle of Lamar and the angle of the GM. As a GM, if there's questions within your ability, then yes, there should be questions within how long your guaranteed contract lasts. For me, you keep talking about Deshaun Watson and the 2 years that he wasn't there. Let's talk about the years that he was there. Lamar Jackson, you said is a top 5 quarterback at his best. Deshaun Watson was a top 5 quarterback at his best, and there hasn't been an injury since that time that would make us question that. There has been lack of reps within that time to make us question that, and reps can be changed quicker than durability can. So I'm gonna bank on Deshaun along with the proven ability, which is that it stems or is the same path of blueprints we've seen before. A guy who can throw the ball, who wants to throw the ball first. Not saying Lamar don't, but his number one ability is his arm, not his legs. And as a quarterback, that allows for us to weigh in on a common ground when it comes to contract, because we agree that your ability is that of a true quarterback. When this is a question mark because this is something different we've never seen before. So when we're having a situation we've never seen before, we need to take our time to get you what you need or to give you what we think you deserve, because you haven't shown us the product or the final goal is with you. We've seen it with Joe Flacco, someone less than you. This is a roster that has been there before within the last 20 years, sort of similar to the Eagles. The Eagles and Ravens, Steelers, Patriots, organizations like that, I believe, can handle new situations. This is a new situation. The Ravens are either going to be able to handle it or get rid of it. And I trust them that they'll make the better decision. Stop poo-pooing on them like they ain't been running that division for the last 2 decades.
All right. We are time. So
Oh my.
as final words. Don, are you trading, paying, or franchise tagging Lamar Jackson?
I'm gonna tag and trade him if it's me. Because the Ravens they're not doing right by my boy. I need to get him out that division. I'm gonna leave some of that stuff Jimmy said alone because that was some more nigga nonsense of of the, I'm not gonna leave it alone. You said that you don't know if you could win. And I know we stretch on time right now. You said you don't know if you can win with this type of style. What has Deshaun, Kyler, or Russell Wilson proved? Because Russell cooking, he burnt down the house. Kyler, he proves nothing in the second half of every season. His team falls apart.
Talk about their style though, because it's different than Lamar's.
Kyler runs also.
Is it run first? Can he make
Yeah,
every
I'd say
throw?
it's the same. I'd say it's the same.
What? Cliff Kingsbury was
Can
running the same system.
Kyler Murray can make every throw? No,
More so than
hell.
Lamar. Yeah.
I give you that. He's better.
You
He's a
think
better
Lamar's
passer
arms
than
on
Lamar.
Kyler's?
No,
Okay.
but I don't think Kyler's like like he's a good passer. He's not like one of these guys that you be like, damn, bro, just threw a dot.
Like his style matches the blueprint. Lamar's style does not match the blueprint.
Jimmy, let me ask you this: the blueprint doesn't matter. All you need is one guy to come out here and show you that you can win. And Lamar style. Like we just seen Jalen Hurts about to win, and that's his scheme is similar to Lamar one. So the scheme does not really matter. If you have a team around them that you can win with, it doesn't really matter. Like there's plenty of pocket passes that don't win every single year. The fuck does that mean? Like they're pocket passes and they don't win.
Name a dual threat quarterback that's won a championship. Name them.
That has a big one.
No, I mean Russ.
A true threat.
He's not a true threat. Stop it.
Dual threat that is rushing for 700 plus yards.
Cam Newton, come on.
He made it to a championship,
but they didn't win.
That's more than some of these guys that you're trying to compare him to. Like Watson has done nothing. Murray has done nothing.
Time. Ending comments. Don said he's gonna tag and trade. Jimmy, what you got?
I'm trading him.
I'm tagging him and trading him as well. And on that note, we're gonna get into some NFL cut candidates. 5 NFL cut candidates from each of us. I guess I will start it off. I'm gonna start off with Adam Thielen from the Vikings. The Vikings save about just right under $7 million. I think he's still a solid number 2. He finds a way to get into the end zone. I mean, 6 touchdowns is more than what some of these guys are providing for other teams anyway. 700 receiving yards. I mean, he was really the third option in that offense. I mean, 1,800 yards from your number 1. You bring in T.J. Hawkinson. I mean, so you're gonna miss here or there. You still got a 1,000-yard rusher in Dalvin Cook. I might be a little homer, but we'll take him. We'll take him in Atlanta. I'm recruiting right now. We're gonna recruit. We'll take Adam Thielen off your hands. Adam Thielen off your hands, because you know why? He'll be a veteran leader in this locker room. Help Drake London learn a little bit, and we need a guy that can get into the end zone. I was thinking New England. New England was actually another option, but I was like, I don't know. I think he'll because they don't have a true number 1, he wouldn't benefit going to New England. But that was my first option.
Good, Don. It was good.
I got Shaq Barrett from the Bucks. He's on the wrong side of 30. He's set to count set to count 21 million against the cap. And I mean, Tampa, they ain't going nowhere. They trash. Like they were trash last year. They're gonna be trash this year. They got a whole bunch of literally
so they're every time the playoffs this year.
No, they're not.
Last year, you said they were trash last year. Oh, okay, just see the difference. But go ahead.
They only made the playoffs because the division was trash. Because them bum ass Falcons and bum ass Panthers couldn't do nothing.
But different levels.
Nah, but when the Falcons get Lamar, we'll see. Or the Panthers get Lamar, we'll see what these Buccaneers gonna be at. But they would save 14 mil if they cut him, to be honest with you. And they already have some young defensive linemen behind him. It's like, why keep him? Like, yeah, he put up 19 sacks a few years ago when he first got there, but now it's like he was injured last year. It's no point. Like, yeah, they don't have cap space. And for my team that I would want to see him go to is Seattle Seahawks. They got 20 plus mil. They need edge rushers. I'm not going to say that he's changing like dramatically, but it would surely help them because they literally do not have no edge rushers in Seattle. So that's my first one I got.
That'd be a nice one.
Okay. For my first one, I got Corey Davis. I believe the Jets will cut this man, and then that will allow them to sign Derek Carr. It's these moves for cut candidates is moves to make moves to make other moves, and it's a chess game here. So I believe that will allow them to secure Derek Carr. I'm cool with seeing him. I don't mind you being in our division, but Corey Davis, I believe the Pats. You typically go for mediocre receivers for whatever reason. I hate it, but we're gonna get Corey Davis because they're gonna somehow believe this man is the number one option. He's solid. He's very solid, and that's what the Patriots usually go for, a solid guy. So
I like it. My number 2 is Byron Jones from the Miami Dolphins. He actually he had a year to get healthy. Really, he didn't play all year, so that expands his career a little bit. But the Dolphins save about $4 million. Athletic corner that can bat the ball down. I think a good fit for him would either be Baltimore when they lose Peters or the Rams because dome teams. Well, he played in the dome when he played with Dallas. He went to a good weather state in Miami. So why not go play in LA, play back in the dome with the Rams after they trade Ramsey because Ramsey's out of there, and I think that'll be a good fit for him.
The only issue with that is Burr said he can't run or jump.
Oh,
So he's probably getting cut regardless. But my number 2, I got Michael Thomas. Burr has not been on nothing in I don't know how long. The Saints would save $12 million. I mean, he just stays injured. The last 2 years, he's only played 3 games. What we gonna do with that, man? Like. Yeah. And I got the perfect situation. I heard y'all speaking on this team earlier. They always picked up old wide receivers. Send his behind the Baltimore, where he's just going to look average as always. And, I think that'll be the perfect fit. I'm not guaranteed Lamar will be there, but hey, you'll have somebody. Maybe you have Tyler Huntley there, and y'all have these aspirations of making it out the AFC North. But that's who I got for number 2.
Ew.
You know what? He was my number 3, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump him up to the number 2 just to, go right back off. You talking about Michael Thomas here? They already restructured his deal, so they're already anticipating getting him out the door because of the lack of ability that he has. You just highlighted it. He wants to play with an elite talent at quarterback, and so I don't think he'll just go anywhere. Not saying that Lamar's not elite talent, but I think he'll go to the Cardinals. I believe they have the speed to allow him to be opened up underneath. He's an underneath type of receiver. He's not going to take the top off the defense. And Kyler's used to throwing to a bigger body. So I think Michael Thomas would be nice for him, nice red zone target. And without a line, a lob threat is beautiful. A big target is beautiful to counteract that lack of line. That's my second.
The only issue with that is Kyler, we don't know when Kyler going to be back, to be honest with you. He might not be back till November.
That's very true.
That is very true. I like the fit, but also the point of Kyler may not be in there is tough as well.
But at the same time, do they even need a Michael Thomas? Because they got Roby, they got Hopkins. If they trade Hopkins, and then they still got Hollywood.
All of those guys are smaller frames besides Hopkins. Everyone.
True.
Michael Thomas is a bigger body, 6'3", 215. I mean, everyone else is like 5'10" and under. 5'10", 5'9". So you're gonna need a bigger body receiver. My third one is Ryan Tannehill. I think the train is running low, man. They need a fresh start. It's just really who is their fresh start because we see that Malik Willis ain't gonna pan out. Besides their run defense, this team is bad. This team is pretty bad. Their rushing offense and their run defense was holding them afloat, but we're in a passing league. You got to defend, and then also you're gonna have to be able to find a playmaker because Burks will get there, but he's not there yet. And you got to find a quarterback. So I don't know. They saved $18 million with cutting him, but I really don't know where he'll go. Maybe the Bucks. Send him to the Bucks. That only benefits me. So send him to the Bucks, and I'll be happy with that. Send Derek Carr to the Saints. Send Tannehill to the Bucks. I'm okay.
Hey, speaking of, I got Ryan Tannehill as my number 4, but I'm gonna just jump right to him right quickly then too. For me, it's they got the new GM that came from the 49ers. The speculation that they might try to go get Jimmy G or try to get Trey Lance. I don't think they should try to get Jimmy G. I think him and Tannehill's on the same level. It's not going to be much of a difference. They're both mid tier. Trey Lance, you just don't know what he'll be, so I could see why you would go out there and see what it is. Darius has spoke on it. They would save 17 mil against the cap, but if they cut him after June 1st, they save 27 mil. So, I mean, I literally didn't have nobody to put him with. You said the Bucks. The Bucks don't have cap space either. So it's like, where could he go? I don't know, because who wants a washed up 30-something-year-old quarterback? I'm gonna just throw a team out here. Let me just look at my who could need a quarterback. I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna just hit Raiders. Just go to the Raiders. I don't know, man.
I feel bad for Devontae.
I don't know, man. Like, there's nobody that needs a quarterback. Like, even the sorry teams, they're gonna get a rookie, and then some of these other teams, they already got washed up quarterbacks. So it's like, where could he even go? Like, there's literally no team out here that I could see him going to, besides those teams in your division and like the Raiders. Like, where else he going?
Washington.
Washington bet not do no mess like that. They said, but Washington has said that they wasn't gonna try to get any more like veteran old QBs. They have said that.
Yeah. For me, I go to Ezekiel Elliott. That man is up out of there. You're talking about 10 mil saved, and they have a guy behind him. I know he's hurt, Tony Pollard, but he is going to be the future for them, and he will go to the Raiders. The Raiders, they're not going to be able to sign Josh Jacobs. I think they have Zeke in there, Adams, and bring in some mediocre middle round quarterback to start the future of the Raiders.
Wow. I mean, honestly, if I don't got a number one running back already, I really don't want Zeke. I just want him to be my goal line back, and we'll give him, what he'll get 750 rushing yards, 800 max with 12 to 14 rushing touchdowns. I'm cool with that. On a what $5 million deal. I don't know. Carl Lawson is mine. He actually had a solid season with the Jets, 7 sacks this year. But they saved $15 million with cutting him. I think he can go to like someone like the Cardinals who needs pass rushing. You add him, and the Cardinals draft Will Anderson. You try to beef up that pass rush for your defense, while your offense is kind of they're banged up. They're a little older, like James Conner. He has a lot of tread on his body. You might trade D Hop. Zach Ertz is banged up pretty much every year. Kyler's hurt. I mean, Rondo Moore, I don't even think he played more than like 8 games this year. So, I mean, you're pretty banged up on the offensive side. So try to beef up that defense and, get to the quarterback.
For me, going no further than my home team, we're going to go right to Joe Mixon. Get that boy up out of here. I like Joe Mixon. He's a good locker room guy. Everybody likes him. But they had a stat, like the last couple teams to win the championship, their running back has not been paid top dollar. So why pay Joe Mixon $12 million? If you cut him, you could save 10 mil. We could go at this running back class is pretty deep with running backs. We go out there and get one of those guys. I'm sure they'll do the job that Joe Mixon does, because it's not like he's like some top 5, top 7 running back out here right now. Like, he's not that anymore. And it's not even like the Bengals are a running first team. Like, we don't need Joe Mixon. Like, I know that the Bengals might do some nonsense and bring him back because they loyal to him, because they like him. But just please get rid of this man. I like him, but just save against the cap. Go get some cheaper talent. And, it's hard to think because everybody's devaluing the running back position now. So I was thinking who might actually like take him. I'm gonna say the Eagles. Like, they're gonna lose Miles Sanders. I don't know how that fit would be, but I just thought about a team that values running, and maybe the Eagles.
I like that. For me, I'm gonna go with Keenan Allen, a controversial topic because this is number one option, but it'll say 14 to 17 mil, depending on when you cut him. So Keenan Allen, you might want to go over there to the Packers with that man Aaron Rodgers because he's been needing a receiver or whatever. Maybe you can show us you're still that top 15, top 10 receiver in the league. I don't know. We'll see. That's if Aaron Rodgers stays, but that's my guy, Keenan.
So I'll get to my number 5, but Keenan, because I had a feeling that one of you guys were gonna have Keenan. I put him on there on my list as like a bonus, but I think they're gonna save a lot of money, $14 million. But I was thinking the Packers as well because he needs that elite quarterback that's gonna give him a ton of targets. But I see them doing a sign and re-sign. So they'll cut him and then re-sign him for a cheaper deal. And he'll retire as a Charger, and he'll be one of the Chargers greats. But number 5 for me, man, my boy Matt Ryan. He gonna retire. There ain't nothing else to it. Just hang up the cleats, bro. Just put the cleats up on the wall, bro. With all the awards you got, since you was, yay high. Just put the cleats up on the wall with the footballs, the trophies, and take care of your kids, bro. Take care of your kids.
I seen him. I looked at him and I was just like, nobody wants Matt Ryan. I'm not even gonna do that one.
I'm sorry.
My last one, kind of a homer pick. He's not getting cut, but he's definitely gonna get traded. And send him right there. You crazy as hell. Send him right to the Queen City itself. Jalen Ramsey. He's set to make 17 mil this year. Rams are over the cap. The Bengals have cap. A lot of it. We need cornerback help. Wizier, he's coming off an ACL injury. Cam Taylor-Britt's pretty good as it is his first season. Eli might not be back. Jesse Bates definitely isn't back. Von Bell might not be back. Why not bring in a top 5 cornerback in Jalen Ramsey? And let's just run this thing all right to the championship. You know what I'm saying? Because we only missing one piece. I don't know if he's the piece, but hey, I'm willing to try.
Before I speak on my corner, I'm going to speak on your corner because my homeboy, your fellow Bengal fan, was speaking on an elite corner that y'all potentially need. My thing is, y'all don't play enough zone for Jalen Ramsey.
We play zone. We play a lot of zone.
I believe y'all play more man with that front 7 in the playoff times, especially against elite talents one-on-one with Stephon Diggs. You want to ask Jalen Ramsey to take on the number 1 receiver? No, I want him to shut down a half of the field and let my front 7 work. I wouldn't necessarily go to an elite corner. I would rather elite edge rusher. Y'all stop the run very well. Y'all get after the quarterback fairly decent as well. But if y'all are able to get after the quarterback in that conference, it makes y'all look sort of like the Bills formula. Once they got Von Miller, that's why the stock for the Bills went up in my mind, because that edge rusher is a different type of beast. What's his name? Trey Hendricks. He's nice.
Hendrickson.
But I'm talking. Right. If you had an elite edge rusher, that defense gets to another level as opposed to a corner that they can't affect the game as much directly as an edge rusher. So I don't know.
I agree. You made a valuable point there, but there's no elite edge rushers out there. They got Jalen Ramsey on the market. Well, hold on. They did say Khalil Mack could be a cap casualty, but I just can't see it because he was so dependable this year for them. So that's why I just I can't really see them cutting him. As far as Jalen Ramsey, our defensive coordinator, Lou Rumo, he does play a lot of zone. That's why, the Patrick Mahomes and the Josh Allens have trouble when they play against us. He does throw some exotic stuff out there where you might catch us in man at some time. And that's what I'm saying. There's no reason that Valdez-Scantling should have been eating the way he was eating against us. Bruh is not like that. It is no reason. So that's why I just you get Jalen Ramsey, like you just said, shut down a whole side of the field by himself. Test him if you want to. Hey, man, we get that man Lombardi trophy. Here we come.
For me,
Go ahead, Jimmy.
yeah, because I'm gonna help your division
Well,
get that Lombardi trophy.
how y'all acting like I just said something so crazy
It's
when
okay.
we
It's okay.
just last year we made it to the Super Bowl and we lost, and then this year we got to the AFC Championship. Now y'all saying if I say we add in a top 5 corner, it's crazy to say that the Lombardi trophy is going to come home with us.
Go ahead.
I'm not
Go
saying
ahead, Jimmy.
it's crazy. I'm just saying it's a little premature. Okay,
I,
the Super Bowl
I,
just ended, but anywho, Marcus Peters, he's
He
up
a
out
free
of there.
agent.
They can't cut him just because
no,
he hurt.
he a free agent.
Oh, he's a complete free agent. Well,
Mhm.
I'll just cover him right quick. He's gonna go to the Packers with Alexander. I believe that duo, he's used to playing with a number 1 corner. They need a number 2 corner, very, very much so, to allow Jair to lock in on his matchup more so than having to play zone to help others out. So I believe Marcus Peters is going to go there. It would help. Well, since he's already a free agent, it's not going to help the Ravens in any form or fashion. So yeah, that's my fifth.
Hey Jimmy, I like that pick because I seen Jair lock this one boy up so
Oh,
bad. Bruh only had 17 yards or whatever he had. It was crazy. I said, damn, that's supposed to be the best wide receiver in the league.
but
And
week
Jair
one,
Alexander,
JJ.
well, I
yes,
I
he's
ain't
right.
say no
But week
names.
one, Jefferson was going crazy against those same Packers.
Hey, we not speaking on that. We speaking on what we saw last.
Yeah. Don been saying some bull for the last
No, I
30
have not.
minutes.
No,
30
I have
minutes. And
not.
if we had the time,
Yeah.
oh man, oh man. But we gonna get into this. I like that. I like that. I like that. The cut candidates, we had some really good ones there. I love that, fellas. So we are gonna get into the 32 teams in 10 weeks. And we got the Texans, the Bears, and the Cardinals starting off.
Mhm.
We might as well start off with the Chicago Bears. Who has the Chicago Bears and what do
I
they
got
need?
I got the Bears. Now, you know, everybody's saying they're probably gonna trade the number 1 overall pick. And I seen I want to say Mike Florio or somebody said this. What if the Bears traded the number 1 pick to get the number 2 pick from the Texans? And then trade the number 2 pick to who's at number 4? The Colts, I believe. Trade that to the Colts. Then you just traded down twice and you done got more draft picks to help build this team. And I thought that right there, I'd say, oh, that's pretty beautiful right there. If you could do that, and then you still in the top 4 to pick a defensive blue chip, either Will Anderson or Jalen Carter, like that's love right there. They already have 100 million cap space. If I'm the Bears, I think they need to go out here and sign Mike McGlinchey. They definitely need to go out here and get a number 1 receiver. Could they get DeAndre Hopkins? I don't know. Maybe. I don't say Brandon Cooks because Brandon Cooks says he wants to go to a team that's good. So that's not going to help them going there. So I'd say that, or even go get washed up Michael Thomas. You never
Okay.
know.
That'd be a
And
nice one.
for me, the defense is horrible. They need help everywhere. It don't matter if you can get defensive line help, linebacker help, cornerback help. You just get it. They do have um a young secondary that's pretty good. That's on the uprise. I forgot some of those guys' names back there, but the cornerback and safety tandem. They need a third cornerback, but if they get that and they already have a young safety group, the Bears secondary can be pretty good. I also need Justin Fields. You have to work on your accuracy. You have to learn on being a much better pocket passer. And I feel like if they do that, and also Hargrave is a free agent. Your run defense was absolutely atrocious last year. Go get Hargrave from the Eagles. Maybe he can shore that up. And then if you even get Jalen Carter, now you got Jalen Carter and Hargrave. Ain't nobody running on that. Or you go get Will Anderson with a Hargrave. That's pressure up the middle and pressure on the edges. Like I think that's the best move for them. And also, I, I know everybody want to say go trade for T. Higgins, this and that. He's not on the board. Go find one of these. Go find one of these young guys. Elijah Moore is out there. Maybe you can go get Elijah Moore. He's pretty good. Like go
go squander the NFL and see who's available, because honestly, I don't think the Packers are going to be good next year. The Vikings, I think they're going to take a step back. I think the Lions are going to be pretty good, but that division is wide open, and I feel like if they just shore up the offensive line, bring in some defensive help, and actually like the one big mistake I feel like the Bears made was trading their second round pick, which is the number 33 overall pick, or 32nd, because the Dolphins don't have a first round pick this year. But trading that second round pick to the Steelers for Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool is ass. What are we doing here? Why would you trade that for Chase Claypool? And also extend Darnell Mooney. I think he would be a good number 2 option. Burr's pretty good, but you just don't have a number 1 wide receiver. And you got some good running backs back there. That's just really what it is. Just need offensive line, defense. Justin Fields needs to upgrade his throwing, and get a wide receiver 1.
I like that. I like that. So we're getting to the Texans. And as far as the Texans, I mean, with the number 2 pick, I mean, I think whoever gets the number 1 pick is going to take CJ Stroud. I mean, is going to take Bryce Young. So, I got the Texans taking CJ Stroud. And I think the next move for them is you gotta go pay somebody. So you gotta go overpay for Marcus Davenport from the Saints. He had 9 sacks, broke out this year. Go ahead and sign him, beef up that defense a little bit. You got to trade Cooks, so you get draft capital there. I heard, trade Larry Tunsil as well, but you know what? Instead of trading Larry Tunsil, you keep him so you don't have to draft the O-line, the left tackle. And you go with the trend. Go with the trend that's been working lately. And you go get Jackson Smith as well to pair with his college quarterback at number 12. Maybe it's a little too high for him, but again, go with the trend. It's been working lately. You know what you got Waddle, you got Chase, and it's working well. So they have a solid foundation defensively as far as their secondary. You got Derek Stingley, who you got last year, and then Jalen Petrie, who just had 5 interceptions this year. So I mean, that's solid so far. You get John Michie back, right, from being hurt his rookie year. I think he was actually sick. I don't know. It was one or the other. But I'd take a chance on maybe someone like Darius Slayton, who can take the top off of defense from time to time. So then that way you have a young quarterback in Jackson Smith. You got Slayton. You got John Michie. So now you got a solid foundation built around your quarterback. You got to boost up the O line. So you got to find a way to get some O line help. Maybe pay a little bit more again and beef up your secondary again with Byron Murphy from the Cardinals. He's a really good player. I think he's a solid player in this league, and he'll put up some good numbers and put up and cover very well. A young secondary right there. You need another running back because you can't put everything on Dameon Pierce. So maybe someone like Damian Harris from the Patriots. Maybe you go out and get a vet. He's used to a running back committee, so he can maybe he can gel very well with that. And then you got to get someone impactful on the defense. So I would probably reach out to someone like maybe the Steelers. Maybe get someone like Devin Bush, who they can't really develop, and see if DeMarco Ryans can maximize his talent and skill set and be a force on that defense. And I think the window is opening, but you got to worry about the Jaguars because the Jaguars is solid. The Colts with a young quarterback, they have pieces on the Colts. And the Tennessee Titans, I think, is going to downgrade as far as, they're not going to improve that much. So, this team can get better. But it's going to take a couple of
years. In other words, they're going to be ass, the Titans.
Man, oh man, I got the Cardinals, man. All I could keep thinking about is that Nicki Minaj quote. Don't be acting like the Cardinals are going to fumble. But anyway, if y'all don't want to fumble, this is what y'all need to do, all right? They got the third pick. You got a Buda Baker on the defense. You got Isaiah Simmons going sideline to sideline. You have pieces, okay? So the first thing I think they need to do is select someone who's a game changer, a difference maker. In this division, you want to beat the top dog. You want to beat a team in football, especially the top tier team in your division. Build a team to beat them. And in those 49ers, their biggest weakness, you can argue, is their quarterback. So let's get an edge rusher or number one corner to directly affect Purdy. I believe this team can, first off, needs both. You just highlighted Brian Murphy Jr. is out of there. He's their best corner, and he played 9 games. They were still 31st in points allowed. So even he wasn't really necessarily able to help them. And they needed this even last year. So, and they only did one pick. They made one pick at the cornerback position, Christian Matthews, 7th round pick overall, and that wasn't much to help one of their biggest issues. So I believe that's the first move. The second move, trade D-Hop for assets. It's not win now mode. We are in retool, rebuild mode. And especially with Kyler being hurt, let's see if we can lean on something else. Let's see what our biggest strength outside of our quarterback is. That old line. We need at least 3 new old linemen this Cardinals roster going forward by the time Murray is back healthy. Those 3 need to come through either free agency or draft picks. I wouldn't say get your linemen within the first 10 picks because of how bad your defense is. You need difference makers on that defense now. Buda Baker is a great addition, but maybe their best player on defense, and then Simmons after that. And if you're able to allow them to roam freely and rush 4 against a 49ers team who have playmakers everywhere, so you want as many hats outside of the box getting after quarterback as possible, especially when your back end isn't what it needs to be. Force the 49ers to beat you in the trenches. And if you could do that, I believe they can make it a little bit difficult. The Seahawks, they're not too shabby, but Geno, if you're banking on Geno in year 2, I just don't believe he'll have that type of praise or effect on the game. I think it'll be more like a rookie's second year, the sophomore slump. I think we'll see that with the Seahawks. So there's that. The Rams, if Jalen's out of there, and Donald's next, I believe, and McVay after that. If Matthews isn't able to get someone alongside Cooper Kupp, the Rams' ceiling isn't going to be what it's been the last couple of years. So the Cardinals have room for improvement. The Cardinals have time to improve, and the NFC is the best conference to do it in. Again, if you want to get somewhere, draft a difference maker first, not what you need first. And what their first need to me is an offensive lineman, especially with Kyler Murray's height. Trading D-Hop to allow for assets, and Michael Thomas will replace D-Hop, as I spoke on earlier.
Yeah. You got to go get the generational talent, man. That's bad football teams. I always believe you got to go get the best player available, and they better not pass up on Will Anderson when he comes up on that draft.
Or Jalen Carter, whichever one is there.
Yeah. Fellas. This was a great episode 26. We appreciate everyone for tuning in. Remember, like, share, subscribe. Hit us up, Twitter, YouTube, IG, Facebook, TikTok, MySpace. Remember,
Can I get amen?
We are out here, and you already know. Until next time, peace.
We out.